Beep, 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 beep. Hello! My headset is dying. Not headset, headphones. Headphones are dying. I was trying to watch a video. I was like, what's going on with my headphone? Or I didn't realize it was my headphones. I was like, what's going on here? What's going on? Because it was like, I thought it was like, I clicked on this one channel and it started to, oh god, it's doing it while I talk too. Oh, that's weird. And I was like, oh man, they must have used like the YouTube AI remove background music thing because it's like cutting in and out. But it's just my headphones. The wire on my headphones is dying. I think it's like... Wait, hold on, let me look at it. It doesn't look like it's been like severed or anything. Like it's still... Oh yeah, no, I guess... Okay, yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, it's coming out. It's not like severed. Oh god. Oh, now I gotta... Okay, there we go. It's like falling out. That was a mistake. Taking it out was a mistake. Okay, there we go, I got it. That goes on there. Ah, fuck, it's cutting out. I just turned 21. Can I get a happy birthday? Happy birthday! Are these the new cat ear ones? No. No. I have those. I need to switch to using them. I don't know where I put them, though. Well, chat. Disaster preparedness. This is something that has been beaten into my head over and over and over growing up. I feel like I feel like it's probably the same for most people, maybe. I don't know. Given how like popular the subject is, me too, sadly, I don't think it's sad. I don't think it's something to be sad about. It's very acceptable to prep now. It is. I feel like in the early 2000s, prepping kind of went from being like the thing only crazy people do, that crazy people who, oh man, they think that the government's gonna come and take their guns away and there's gonna be a giant civil war and blah, 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 blah. You know, they used to, people were like that. They were like very condescending about it. Even though it's still like a real thing that could happen. People were really like condescending about it and would like be very, very dismissive. But nowadays, I feel like after we've had shows come out that were like, oh man, these people are super crazy. Look at like the zombie preppers now. Oh my god, wow, they're like, they think that the zombie apocalypse is gonna happen and the zombies are gonna come fucking kill everybody. And there were some people prepping for that. I feel like it used to be for a lot of people, zombies referred to other people, not to like literal movie zombies. But the idea of like zombie prepping kind of like stuck. So it was much more marketable for companies to like tap into the very real fears people had of end times, and instead of attach like potentially like political connotations to it or things that would like actually upset or scare people, it's like, oh no, don't worry, it's zombie prepping. It's zombie preparedness. Now it's cool and fun and quirky and has no sad, no upsetting connotations. But yeah. If you're prepared for zombies, you're prepared for everything. My headset's cutting out is kind of driving me insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys, I don't think you guys can like hear any of it. So it's, oh my god, it's like it works and then it, we can't. Okay. The big Swede thing. You call me Dr. Swede because I just passed the final exam for my PhD. Hell yeah! Thanks for helping me get through the last 5 years of study, Pippa. Hell yeah! Proud of you, man. Proud of you. Congratulations on getting your PhD. That's so much work. Jesus Christ. Oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Headset, no go. Headset. No, it's completely dead. Shit, where are the other headphones? Where the fuck are the other headphones? Ah! I don't know where I put them. Wait, hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Are they in here? I feel like I have like little. Okay, I got them. One moment. These headphones have officially kicked the bucket, but alas, worry not, dear child, for we have a backup pair. Which ear is left, dear? This one. Plug this bad boy in. Bam! Oh my god, it's so loud. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is this so loud? It's... The difference in headphones is crazy. I don't want to talk because it's so loud. Hold on. I need the mic monitor. There we go. Turn that down. Oh! Oh! I'm deaf. I was for a moment. ASMR moment, yeah. Thank you. I switched to Brave browser because you Pippa. Hell yeah. Go to Otaku, thank you. I mean, we already have IRL zombie virus. It's called rabies. Dr. Jackson, you. FEMA's even says zombie prepping is a good catch-all for many emergencies. Are you really gonna listen to FEMA? I'm not saying that they're wrong about this, but I'm gonna say I don't think anybody should rely or look favorably upon FEMA. Those people will fucking kill you. They will throw you to the wolves. They do not like you. They do not want you to survive. They hate you. Do not rely on FEMA. Zyfax, thank you. Something to consider. The Pentagon has multiple official zombie outbreak contingencies. Hunties, thank you. Sometimes I just want to collect weapons and eat MREs. Yes, I know it's weird. I like it. That's not weird. That's a good hobby. That's a good hobby. But Angie, thank you. I trust Waffle House over FEMA. Based. Count on not relying on the government. True. True and real. True and real. But oh god. I gotta turn this down even more. It's so loud. I feel I'm so loud. I'm so loud. Government. What? It can be found, makes you feel in control. At least you know Waffle House is PvP enabled. The government's PvP enabled, but only for you. Like, they're allowed to beat you up, and if you attack them, they flag down the other moderators who come and gank you. They flag down their guild members. Okay, Lettens, you. I don't know any chance you'd play DayZ. I don't know what actually is in DayZ. Is it just like a zombie shooter? Only was thank you FEMA is a 4-letter agency. The extra letter doesn't mean that you should trust them more. Global base, thank you. Zombies are real though. Wasting disease is freaky. Well, I think, you know, chat, my honest thoughts is I don't think the zombie apocalypse is ever going to happen. I think the zombie apocalypse is a fun thing to imagine about, like, oh man, like what would we do? And I think it's like a good thing to like introduce other people into prepping and general preparedness, but I don't think the zombie apocalypse is gonna be like a thing. I really don't. CDL Del, thank you. Honestly, Face Connect wouldn't be quite the same without you, Pippa. You dragged a lot of us into this delightfully insane rabbit hole. Thank you. BTNV, thank you. My face won $750 federal loan. That being said, though, the zombie stuff is pretty funny. Here's a video that caught my eye, and I think this entire channel is just like zombie apocalypse stuff.
Due to popular demand, American I would like to present to you another zombie video. You might have to start practicing some of these skills soon in order to be talented enough to put them to good use when the time is finally here. The training might not always be easy.
Not here too. Oh, okay. Hey, DJ Powers, thank you.
On your shotgun accuracy,
as someone involved in search and rescue and emergency management, I will say that prepping is encouraged. Yes.
The best skills for the zombie
I think everybody should prep. I think, you know, a lot of people think, oh, prepping, so you want me to like go buy a massive generator for my house and build a bunker that's 6 feet underground, or fucking, I forget like the number of feet underground to protect from nuclear radiation. Is it 24 feet? I don't know. Whatever. People are like, I need the fucking build a bunker underground that is 24 feet or whatever the fuck, and I need the have like 7 year. Oh, it's around 20. Okay, I don't know where I got specifically 24 from. I need to have an entire garage full of MREs and barbed wire on my face. You don't have to do that. Bingo bongo tango bingo thank you. Why does this man sound like Five Below Chills? I don't know. You can have a first aid kit. And that's like a great first step. That's a great first step. You know? I don't have shit, alright? I mooch off of my parents. You know, when it comes to prepping stuff. They have all kinds of shit. My parents have fucking a whole bunch of backup batteries. They have massive stores of MREs. They have fucking 15 million different types of water filters, shit like that, you know? Yeah, Pippa, spoiled prepper. I'm spoiled. It's 30 feet. Is it 30 feet? But, yeah, you don't like with prepping, you don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff. You know, one of the videos that I have lined up here is from City Prepping, which is a channel that Papa can introduce me to, actually, that around like the 2-minute mark-ish, he goes over comments from people who have been enduring Hurricane Milton, and they talk about the things that actually helped them. So I figured that would be an interesting piece of insight into what can actually matter during an actual large-scale emergency like that. A pickled cucumber, thank you. Canned food, clean water, guns and ammo, and a 50-pound bucket of emergency mac and cheese. No, seriously, I have 5 buckets. That's based. Ika, thank you. My mom is prepped for when the commies take over. Some exciting you. Prepping is good, but learn how to grow your own food and purify your own water will always be a necessary skill. It is, but that's also a question of how much space do you have, you know? At least to start out with. You know, eventually you can get into that kind of stuff, but don't feel like you need to dedicate your fucking apartment balcony to growing vegetables and shit, you know, like start easy, you know? Pepper saying that you some basic essentials in your EDC bag is always good. Everyone should have water, food, and yes, a bunker full of unregistered machine guns is a must. ACM, thank you. Look up Atlas survival shelters. They build fallout shelters you can buy and have delivered to your property. What the fuck? What the fuck?
A lot's been.
Oh wait, I do also have like bushcraft tabs opened up, so we can get into that as well later. But let's look at this video.
Let's give a quick shout out to Lone Wolf for leaving us this suggestion.
Is it thank you? Will your original model come back? No one is good.
Video you like
I use my original model sometimes.
We'll also feature you in an upcoming video. Number 15.
Number 15.
Practice. You might want to start working on your baseball swing soon, because if the apocalypse arrives, that swing is going to come in handy. The proper swing takes a lot of repetitions, and the eye-hand coordination that comes with hitting a baseball will be good practice for swinging at moving zombies.
Hell yeah.
Baseball bats are one of the most important choices for weapons during the zombie apocalypse. It's always important also to remember that metal baseball bats are going to be your best bet, while wooden bats...
Am I crazy? Why a bat? A bat is not like... Am I cooked, chat? I feel like a bat would not be my go-to weapon during a zombie apocalypse. I feel like they're... Like, if you're prepping, right? I guess this is best prepper skills. I would think, like, having, like, actual weapons would be better. Yeah, not durable enough. Zombie blood is infectious. Yeah, like... I don't know if this is what you would want, ideally. Nico Daisy, thank you. Something useful I learned from a house fire is to have any important documents in a go bag. Oh, that's a good one. Have you guys ever been asked the question before or thought about it? You only have 15 minutes to get out of a burning fire in your house. What are you gonna do? You know? Have you guys ever perhaps deployed that test? You know, set like a 15-minute timer on your phone. What are you gonna do? That's a lot of time. It's not as much time as you think. If you actually set the timer on your phone and you go through and you do it. Apart saying thank you, Bat, damn that's crazy, gets gunned. Oh, guns are noisy, and if the zombies can hear and are attracted to the sound of noise. So thank you, the best prep knowledge is lose some weight. Fair. I would put out the fire in 15 minutes. It's not just for fires though. It's also like evacuations or really anything. Angie, thank you. We should all have a sturdy plus sharp blade, obviously. 15 minutes, nothing. You're long dead before then. You have less than 15 minutes in a burning house. Oh, thank you. Again, it's a hypothetical. It's not just about fires and shit like that. Almost, thank you. Evil Vsauce has a good video on what to have in your car. Has nobody heard this before? I feel like everybody's complaining about the 15-minute part. Am I cooked? This is how I've heard it. Background noise, thank you. With modern building standards, it's less than 15. Tired tech, thank you. Crowbars are peak melee weapons. I haven't. I've heard of it. Yes. Careful Saxon, thank you. Spears, swords, mace, cardio. Put out the fire. I've heard it as pick 1 or 2 items only. Sarah, thank you. I would simply not let my house catch fire. Uncle Lang, thank you. 15-minute fire leaves 5 minutes for coffee time. What the fuck? I heard it's 5 minutes. My dad always said 10 minutes. I've heard 5 minutes. Either way, it's a fun little experiment to do. Even like if you set it to 5 minutes, what are you grabbing? What are you doing? You know? Bingo bongo tango bingo, thank you. There's a lot of overlap in real prepping and zombies. Being a Floridian life has reminded me the LARPing would get you far. Stay safe and happy 20 months. Thank you, thank you. Your computer. Why are you guys grabbing your computer? Why? What the hell? Jesus Christ, thank you. Losing weight is definitely a good idea. A lot of preppers spend tens of thousands on food, gun, equipment, etc., but can't even run a mile. That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, thank you. Hey, Pippa. First super chat here. Couldn't catch any streams as of late because of 2-month-long mandatory military training. Glad I'm able to catch this one on my birthday. Happy birthday, Glove! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Sure, my god, I thank you. 15 minutes can save me 15% or more on car insurance. It could. You could call Geico in that time. Here's Army Survival Guide. I don't have things that will last as long as good info. Oh.
Bats can be best for making modifications. Metal bats won't break as easy as
Off-roading.
it looks, so it would be good for you to try it out a few times before the apocalypse.
That's fair.
goes down.
Wait, off-roading.
Number 14, off-roading.
Off-roading, this one makes sense. This one makes a lot of sense. Ashma, thank you. Computer is $1,700. It's worth more than my car.
Off-roading might not be quite as easy as it looks, so it would be good for you to try it out a few times before the apocalypse goes down.
With what gas? What do you mean with what gas? Zinamo, thank you. What I should have done and everyone should do is join Boy Scouts, rake up the Eagle, and spend 4 years in the military. If every American did that, we'd be prepared for almost everything. Rocket Skull, thank you. Rocket Scaff, thank you. My house burned down in 2020. You bet your ass. I wish I took the time to pull my computer out because I definitely had it. Treasure Reaper, thank you. Both my hamsters and my pillow flesh. Please see if I can. Eddie Lombardo, thank you. Everything I learned about combating zombies, I learned from Dead Rising. Anything can be used as a weapon. Yeah, Jolter, thank you. Project Zomboy players, take notes furiously.
Down. Make sure you have the proper vehicle with the proper tires. Know what tools you need to fix your off-roader, and find out some other crucial information you need before hitting the dusty trail.
That could be valuable information. It feels a little bit extreme, I guess. I feel like knowing how to like move a tree out of the road, like that would be a bit more valuable, I guess, because like presumably you'd Apoxy, thank you. Living in Tornado Alley usually means you only have about 8 to 12 minutes to grab what you need and take cover or run before it roars up on you. Edge of Divinity, thank you. Doesn't the depth of the bunker depend on the type of ground you have? That is true. That is true, because like stuff like sand is a lot softer and easier for like radiation to penetrate versus like if you had like 10 feet of fucking concrete or whatever. Edge of Divinity, thank you. Doesn't with that. Glarn Boden, thank you. This way to survive the zombie apocalypse, befriend local crows, ravens, have a bunch of eagle-sized flying scavengers as smart as chimpanzees is a good strategy. HP, thank you. Brazil would be a very good place to survive a zombie apocalypse. Almost every house have walls and sometimes guns. Huh? I would hope the houses have walls. Density is key for what the fuck? Trap building?
When you're looking for the proper way to defend your outpost against zombies, it's important to have a few ideas to protect yourself.
This image goes so hard.
In the case of an all-out infestation. Have you practiced building traps in order to catch small animals?
This image goes so hard, chat.
Couldn't catch a bird if our life depended on it. And
rock climbing, foraging.
That could certainly be the case.
Well, foraging's a good skill.
Number 11, foraging. Eventually, the truth is, bullets are gonna run out, and your weapons.
I thought he was about to say like lump hunting into it. I was like, wait a minute.
Prove to be useless, unless you have some.
Taking mushroom hunting to the next level.
In this hobby, you'd certainly be able to create your own bullets if that were the case. However, melee weapons may prove to be more effective than firearms anyway, because of the lack of noise. There will be an abundance of scrap metal all over the place, and this abundant resource.
What? I thought he was going to talk about, like, foraging for berries and shit. K37, thank you. Speaking of birthdays, can you wish my friend Kayak a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Kayak! Please, man, thank you. So many people talk about prepping like they're going to be the only survivor in 10 kilometers. Realistically, your most useful skill will be coordination. True. That's very true. Let's look at... Is this video AI generated? I think the other one was. Not foraging. It's foraging? Oh, it is foraging! Wait, what the fuck? Bro... I mean, I guess it's not a bad skill to have. I don't think I would put it in the list of, like, the best skills to have. But what do I know? 𝐒𝐏𝐿𝐻𝐿, then thank you. NoZip22, unsubscribed.
Happening in the last week, especially natural disasters and the fallout from those events. In this video, I'm going to turn to our community to really find out the lessons that we should be learning from hurricanes Beryl, Helene, and Milton. We're also going to take a look at the unprecedented nature of these three hurricanes.
Okay, you got to retack your rounds and make your own ammo.
I'm also going to examine where we are in the war in the Middle East and the dark turn where we may be heading there. We'll also take a look at the election, now just 24 days away at the time of recording this video, and what you should be preparing for that event. Plus, we'll have another great giveaway, and I'm going to show you some of the updates for our property we're developing for the channel, plus a couple of new recent members of the city prepping security team, so you'll definitely want to stick around for that. Let's jump in.
Like, right?
If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness, aka prepping. Each week we try to break down the larger threats that we all see in the head.
There are mushrooms identical to edible ones that will liquefy your organs. That depends on where you live. You know? One thing that's very handy to have is a physical copy, not an ebook, a physical copy of foraging guides for your local area. Don't just buy general foraging guides. Buy ones for your local area. Like your actual local area, not your entire state. Your local area. I mean, if you have to use one for like the entire state, I mean, I guess like if you're going to be like moving around and stuff, but generally better to hunker down, I believe. Could be wrong, but yeah, and watch out for the AI ones. Yeah, look for ones made by reputable people. How local? Like your region. You know? Because like states like if you bought like a foraging guide for the state of California. Okay, well if you go northwards, there's a bunch of mountains and it's like very green and lush. And then you go to like the middle of California and it's getting into more like desert, and then you go to Southern California and it's like proper desert, and it's completely different. You know, it's completely different. So having foraging guides for your local regions is very important, because what grows in each region varies quite a bit.
lines and their potential impact, even if we're far from the conflict zone, to help you make
Wait, did you guys know that Southern California has jaguars? Did you guys know Southern California? Fucking jaguars. What the fuck? Yeah? What the fuck? Yes, I did not. Yeah, it's crazy. Very, very rare. Mountain lions, no. Silly boy, thank you. Any plans to play that cat rescue story game? I want to know if it's too complicated for my niece. Cat rescue story game? What? I don't know. I don't know that game. Because they migrated from South America. Yeah.
Informed decisions.
Oh, Amanogawa, thank you. What's your opinion on bicycles in the apocalypse? Everyone tries to stock up on gas, but bikes need none, are quiet and easy to maintain. I think bicycles are really good. I think bicycles are great, especially like hardy mountain bikes, you know? Big hardy mountain bikes. Jaguars, cougars, and mountain lions are extremely similar animals. Well, cougars and mountain lions are the same animal. Unless I'm cooked. I'm pretty sure cougar, mountain lion, Florida panther, puma, these are all names for the same animal, right?
About what and how you
jaguars are
you are.
Jaguars are the Florida panthers are subspecies. Okay. Jaguars are the big cats that have like leopardy spots and can swim. Hold on. Florida panther is unique. What do I type in? Jaguar swimming. This is jaguar. I was attacked by a cougar once in college. What do you mean by that? Look at this. Look at this. Voluntarily going swimming. Isn't that crazy? There's like one video that has it's crazy footage of a jaguar swimming. I don't know how to find it. I don't know how to find it. They murk crocs. Jaguar fighting crocodile. Ah, Gio, don't kill me, please! Don't hurt me! Oh, low battery. Like, what the fuck, man? Up, up. Look at that! Woo! Onto the fucking crocodile! Doesn't think only small cats dislike water, large cats don't? I don't think that's true. Generally. Like, I don't believe cougars go hunting in the water like this. I could be wrong. I don't believe cougars go in the water like this. Yeah, lions. I don't like lions. There are beaches in Africa, and lions will go and hunt on the beach, but lions don't swim generally. VOD died for this tangent? What? Why? Kaneko, thank you. I am now a jaguar anti. What the fuck? I'm trying to think of other big cats. Tigers will swim. Yeah. Anyways, another revisit. A good set of radios are great to have. Yeah, radios are very great to have. Oh yeah, cheetahs don't really swim. I've seen a video breaking down just how weird the big cat listings and differences are. They make no sense. Think it was casual geographic. Yeah, on the topic of radios, those are very, very, very good to have because when shit hits the fan, you know, generally like phone lines are going to be down or overwhelmed. So having radios can be your means of communication with outsiders or finding out like what's going on in your area.
Recent hurricanes have allowed us to really take a closer look at the threats we face closer to home. More importantly, though, it's an opportunity to learn directly from our preparedness community about what works and what doesn't work.
Good to know when where they're handing out supplies. Exactly.
When we face these disasters. So let's go ahead and jump in. Hurricane Milton.
What happens when all electronics are fried though? Like if there's a like how there was the theory that a solar flare was going to happen back in like 2010 and it was going to fry the grid or yeah, EMPs. Solar flare? Yeah, that used to be like a theory that a solar flare was going to happen back in like 2010, I think, and that it was going to fry the grid and yeah. Well, then your radio doesn't work, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. Actually, wait, if an EMP goes off... I don't know. Thank you, I have a radio, but no friends to talk with. Jesse says thank you, Morse code can help too. They keep repeating it year after year. Like, just because you can hypothesize, like, you can theorize a event happening, does not... Oh God, I'm so tired. Just because you can theorize an event happening does not mean that you should not prepare for anything. Keep stuff in a Faraday bag, that works. Faraday cages made out of chicken wire? They have Faraday cages made out of chicken wire? Huh?
I recently asked on the community tab of our channel if people could post their experience with
How prepared are you, Pippa?
Helene and Milton.
Extremely prepared by default of living with my parents and them being over-prepared for everything. It's just Vulture, thank you. If even CB radios don't work, guns and camouflage. Toa, thank you. So solar flares are unpredictable. They could happen at any moment. Nuclear detonation equals EMP. Height of detonation affects how big the area is. Black Hat Pirate, thank you. Making sure you have prescription medications and a list of your health issues and pills can save your life and get extra if you can. Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I don't really have any medication that I rely on like that, nor does anybody in my family, so I've never really thought about that. That's a good point. Also, I guess like having knowledge about how to wean yourself off of that medication if you need to, or like potential alternatives for it. That makes sense. Because if everything gets shut down and you don't have access to your medication, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just like go raid the store or whatever for medication. Oh, I'll go like raid a pharmacy, or I'll go, like, the stores will have what I need or whatever, even if nobody's there. Probably gonna get killed. It's either already going to be heavily looted or somebody's gonna be like set up there, and potentially it's police. Like that's a fucked up reality, chat. Is like during natural disasters and shit, the police will go and like patrol against the looting, which is fucking insane. Okay, Lennon, thank you. Survival of the fittest, no meds. Nephro Saxon, thank you. Insulin. Okay, alright, that. They did it in Katrina. They did it recently too. It's the ranged, but just remember, state and government, not your friend. Or sad, bro, thank you. Did radio comms in the army? We get Carrington level CMEs all the time. It is extremely unlikely solar activity will ever kill radios globally. EMPs from nukes will way before the sun ever does.
Specifically, I wanted to...
Looters are the problem? I disagree. But I haven't been in like a hurricane situation, so this is just my outsider opinion. But if it's like an emergency situation like this, you know, like a natural disaster or whatever, you know, I'm not talking like there's riots going on, fuck yeah, loot everything, you know, no, that's bad. But if there's like a natural disaster, shit's getting shut down, they're like sending out supplies and stuff. If somebody is able to get to those food storages and shit, you know, like fucking take it, man. Fucking take it. Because looters need those big screen TVs. Who's looting big screen TVs during natural disasters? Come on, then. Outsiders travel in to loot? Oh, well. Chat, I don't think the priority during natural disasters or emergency situations like this, I don't think the priority from the government should be, let's lock up these businesses, protect them, blah, blah, blah. I think it should be, let's get resources to the people who are stranded and shit. That's my thoughts. Why are we focused on defending Walmart instead of dropping resources to people? It should be getting people out of danger. That's what I believe. I will remain silent. Police can't easily be repurposed anyways. Because companies pay them more. I do think it's wrong that people go and loot selfishly during emergency situations, but like, especially like outsiders coming in, sacrificing or potentially like taking up emergency resources from other people who actually need it, or taking the resources of like first responders and shit who are trying to save people. Like, now these people need to be saved because they got stuck in a fucking Walmart trying to loot a TV or whatever. Like, that's obviously wrong, but I got no thank you. Organized looter gangs are brought in from outside. But no one's stealing food, they're taking luxury goods to resell. People do steal food and shit from businesses to survive natural disaster. What? I feel like people are like, Pippa, no, you can't loot at all. That's so, how could Pippa? Looting is, you're going in and you're fucking stealing televisions from businesses. That's what all these scum of the earth are doing. And it's like, what? Pennies for breakfast, thank you. Banana. Dirty J, thank you. They do. Okay, that's not who I'm talking about. Dirty J, thank you. My uncle looted beer during the Rodney King riots and he was scolded by my aunt for not looting diapers. It's man, thank you. If someone loots something you need from a store and now there's no more of it, what do? People organize into gangs, all hell breaks loose? What? Focus people? People are getting fucking... I feel like right now chat's like trying to turn it into like a political thing right now. Let's fucking...
To know how their preps helped them or didn't help them, what they might do differently in the future, and what they've learned. And the community really responded. I'm going to run through some of these comments. NATV6558 wrote, I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and Hurricane Alina was so devastating in our community and surrounding areas. I will say...
Pippa does not like the police. I don't, and I think it's cringe that people are like, oh man, no, the police need to be out there defending the fucking businesses because what if people are stealing TVs during the fucking emergency situation? Fuck off, man. Fuck off.
Preps were so important, as an understatement. We were out of electricity for 6 days, no internet for 8, and it's almost been 2 weeks with no water. They're saying about 4 more weeks without running water. Now, having drinking water on hand with a Berkey filter, generator, extra food, extra gas, and a hand crank solar radio was the most important of all our preps. That $10 radio was our lifeline to stay in the know when no one could communicate. How essential. I know what I'm getting.
Dun, dun, dun. So here's somebody saying hand crank solar radio. That's pretty neat. A lot of people, I guess, don't think about this, but like battery operated equipment is handy, right? Because you can have a supply of batteries that you can pop in and out, and you don't have to worry about like waiting for the weather to clear up for things that need to charge solar. I guess like hand crank is probably always ideal. I don't know. I know we have like a lot of battery operated stuff just because of like the pure convenience of it, you know, like Like, if the zombie apocalypse happens and society is never returning to normal, then batteries are eventually going to run out, obviously. But like most emergency situations are not going to disrupt life as we know it indefinitely. You know what I mean?
Relatives for Christmas this year. At Snuggle Dragon, also in Asheville, wrote, between my location and my prepping supplies, we've all been doing well. We've had no cell for 4 days, no power for 6, no water until just a couple of hours ago, and still no Wi-Fi. This experience was a good testing ground to really see what worked and what we need to tweak some. At JR-8R2XS wrote,
let's go back here. No cell for 4 days. So if you don't have a radio, what are you doing, you know? If you don't have a radio, what are you doing for those 4 days? No power for 6 days. If you don't have, what are you doing about food in that situation, you know? How are you cooking your food? It's all very helpful things to think about, to consider. You know, if you look at your situation right now, you got games on your radio. Tuning for 4 days and then dying. Just eat a sandwich. Thank you. Hand crank is better in the long run because even rechargeable batteries have a lifespan that will no longer hold a charge. Just keep cranking. Theory, thank you. How about build a bug out bag stream, or maybe a fun version? Anime bug out bag stream. Anime bug out bag? Wait, that would be fun. That would be, I think anime bug out bag would be really fun, and trying to find, like, you know how like somebody did that surviving off of Neon Genesis Evangelion food for a month or whatever the fuck? We could do something like that.
What worked and what we need to tweak some. At JR-8R2XS wrote, in the middle of being hit by Milton, we've seen multiple tornadoes already around here, but no major damage so far. The folks over by Tampa Bay are gonna get hammered though. Prayers. At $2.4855 wrote, Houston, Texas Beryl was without power for 4 days. Have a father who suffers from dementia and only had a small generator enough to power a fridge and a window unit.
So that's something to consider. There's one guy Papakin was showing me. Papakin talks to me about this stuff quite a bit. There's one guy who was showing me that just his fucking hyper fixation, I guess, is just reviewing generators, which is pretty handy. He has like an entire spreadsheet about different generators and their actual power output and how long they last. And
since then, I've gotten a dual fuel generator along with our quick connect to our natural gas line. Powers my whole house. Weather reports were saying heavy rain, but later reported to expect heavy winds. If I'd known that earlier, I would have evacuated.
Dun dun dun.
I'm going to link to the community tab of our channel.
I think those are all that he goes over. But the rest is just talking about I don't know what. Just Vulture, thank you. If you're healthy, return to an 1800 standard of living, water or windmills, subsistence farming, and greeting any strangers will with hot lead ready to go. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I still have this Jaguar tab open. Lars said, brother, thank you. Also, in my opinion, everyone should also learn to read a map, compass, and know how to find which way north. You know north, you know you can find the other three. True. This is from that same guy. This is 30 affordable first aid items from Dollar Tree. So if you are looking to start prepping on a budget, you know, just like general stuff, you know. I'll run the queue. Apparently, one of the issues that a lot of female workers were from the cities and aren't used to Carolinians open carrying and refuse to service the people carrying. What? Is that true? I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but what the fuck? The National Guard had to reassure the female workers it was okay. FEMA's such a joke, dude. Nuclear helper, thank you. If phones go down, just call over Discord. PTN Fiend, thank you. If you have enough equipment and supplies to go out camping in the woods for a week, you should be decently prepared for a disaster, to be honest. It depends. It depends. Like, it's a nice idea in concept, right? But like, when you go out camping, you are in a very different environment versus if you're in your house, right? If you're in your house and say like a hurricane hits or whatever, and the like everything is flooding and there's like tornado winds and shit. Do you have a safe space to take shelter? You know, like when you're out camping, you're not really worried about disaster conditions. You know, you're not worried about heavy winds. You're not worried about, I guess sometimes you can be worried about extreme temperatures if you're going camping in like the extreme cold and stuff. But most people, they don't go camping in extreme weather conditions. You know, they do it just for fun, casually. Winter camping is pretty fun. So if you're like, if there's a hurricane happening, say everything is flooding, all right, where do you set up a fire in your house for warmth? You know, where can you do that at? Your bathroom? Well, say you live on a 2-story house or whatever, and your bathroom's on the first floor. What do? You know, in your fireplace, everything's flooding. Is your fireplace on the second floor? What about on the roof? How do you get to the roof? Do you know how to get to your roof? Do you have a flat part of your roof where you can build a fire? Do you have a surface available to you? You know? It's easy to say, like, oh, I'll just, like, go up there and build a fire. But, like, how are you actually going to do it? Most people's roofs are slanted. How are you going to... I've done it before, so yes, well, good on you. Yeah, do you have a way to start the fire? I mean, Nalron was saying, like, if you are prepared for camping for a week, then you'll be prepared. But, David Wright, thank you. Breast facts. Shit hits the fan. Preparedness pyramid is the best video I've seen that explains how to think about prepping. Very real and down to earth. I have not seen that one. Person who sells is why, thank you. Roof, fireplace, second floor. What are you talking about? Malcolm Lane, thank you. But if I'm on a slanted roof, feds cannot reach me. Let's check out that one. Preparedness pyramid. This one?
Hey guys, Breast Facts here. I was recently discussing some preparedness theories on my Discord, as I tend to do while avoiding any actual work. A theme I somewhat picked on in the last couple of months is a tendency for conversations to kind of forget that between rule of law and literal Mad Max, there's actually a lot
all I have is a slanted anti-fed roof.
The discussion went to multi-year-long water purification and resupply for something that essentially amounted to civil unrest. Another scenario listed was full-blown patrol bases near platoon-sized elements, recon, all to secure a section of river and go fishing to secure calories. During a Katrina-style event. The same way a box of Dasani water is more relevant than an $800 tactical pump and ceramic filter for short-duration civil unrest scenarios, so too does a box of Mountain House from Costco end up being more practical, safer, and efficient than turning your local river into an inverse Korngau Valley. Just to...
This dude's kind of based. Leonardo Rivas, thank you. The problem with looting is that it erases the business's trust. Okay, come on, man. Let's move on. Yeah, people think that you need to have like some major setup. You need to have a fucking 500-gallon water filtration system and shit. And it's like, you know, like you can most disasters and shit are not going to be a month fucking long. You know, like you're going to perhaps be dealing with the after effects of it for even potentially years, you know? Like you survive a hurricane, you might be dealing with the cleanup of that for years, but the actual hurricane itself, the actual emergency situation, it might be like a week, it might be 2 weeks. It's probably not going to be a month plus, hopefully. Hurricane Sandy, I remember there were people that were, was it like a full month? There were some people that didn't evacuate and they got stuck there for quite a long time. Mercenary, thank you. We just had a brownout during a heat wave in San Diego last week. 5 a week, we had no power. Thank God we have a nat gas generator, but my dad refuses to have a battery backup. Would you need or... What? Would you need or your electronics will fry happened to us. Background noise, thank you. Scavenging good, looting bad. Good Hong Toki, thank you for becoming Big BB.
Hold a riverbank to get some fishies. While there is a time and a place for these things, trust me, I'm all about that. It represents an issue that I think the preparedness community...
Some people at the shore didn't have power until Thanksgiving.
...kind of grapples with. If all of your preparedness effort is going into designing and mimicking military-style engagements, SOPs, and others, you're going to begin employing these practices when perhaps a much simpler solution exists. Or worse yet, you might actually lack the relevant preparedness item as you've spent all your time and effort for that 1% scenario. So I've created a sort of shit-at-the-fan food pyramid of sorts as a visual talking aid for this and a video I want to do after discussing and perhaps recontextualizing a lot of these issues. The general idea...
This guy's funny. SDK, thank you. Have a reason to survive, not necessarily easy.
Behind the, well, real food pyramid is to manage your relative portion size with carbs and veggies making the bulk of your consumption. Then we have dairy, then meat, and then finally like dessert type foods. More or less, it basically boils down to what your mom kept telling you.
This is bullshit,
eat your
though.
fucking greens and stop eating so much candy. Except in
But
this video, we'll be using it as an aid, and instead I'll be saying, have more.
No, no, how dare you brass facts use the fucking food pyramid? It's all bullshit. No, this invalidates your point. How dare you?
More than just beer for water in your house, and stop buying so much tactical shit. Last week I talked about...
Based? Holy shit. Chat, tactical is like organic for conservatives. Same fucking thing, man. Different side of the coin. You know, fucking... People are like, my organic tomatoes, they don't have pesticides on them, they're healthy. Other side of the coin. I need my tactical fucking tactical vest. I need my it's bulletproof and it has tactical bandoliers and additional holster straps for my tactical pocket knife and my tactical spoon and my tactical mess kit. And it's not a regular mess kit, it's a tactical mess kit. It has serrated edges on the sides of the plate so I can use it if somebody sneaks up on me. If I'm eating with my tactical mess kit and somebody sneaks up on me, I grab the handle and I swing it back at them and it cuts their head off because it has serrated edges like a knife. Uncle Nang, thank you. Watching you fight your chat will never stop being funny. I think that is a draw to my stream. Alright, thank you for becoming Big Papi! Tactical tomatoes that fold! Everything has to fold! Melvin Mergahopper, thank you. The only thing I need is my tactical toad.
The taps incidentally and the issues I had with it and how you
tactical
can buy
over
other
tactical,
systems
true.
to sort of modernize the concept.
I need my $500 tactical mess kit!
This week, for the sponsored section, the guys over at Venture Surplus have created a single buy link for their favorite configuration of the rig. Honestly, solving many of the problems I had with it.
That's what so much of the tactical shit is too. It's literally like everyday object, but it's also a window breaker. Or it has a knife in it somewhere. You pull off the bottom of the spoon and it's a knife. Never know when you'll need that.
Well, last week. This includes 2 HSGIs.
It has a bottle opener. Oh, there's a bottle opener.
/canteen pouches, which,
oh yeah,
by the
but it's in black. It's in a matte black, not a shiny black. It's a matte black because it's cool.
way, are actually low-key the best part. I'm going to be buying more of those pouches. A bungee replacement kit and a center GP USMC assault pouch. Venture has their own YouTube channel where they explain exactly how to set this up, how to get the most out of the individual pieces of gear, and most importantly, how to replace a chest harness with an aftermarket one, because the
carbon
stock
fiber
one is kind of mediocre. The one you see in the video here is a unobtainium gear one, which is about 35 bucks. This whole rig can hold 8 or 12 mags, a huge front GP, 2 side GPs, room for first aid, radio, match pouch, and more.
Mercenary, thank you. Sorry, last month and power was out for a week. The problem was that power kept kicking in some of our electronics, Blue. I have them on battery. Oh. Always handy to have surge protectors. Vending roll, thank you. If I called you a carrot muncher, how would you feel? I don't know. Daily Basses, thank you. Well, I've got to go arrange my tactical paper clips. Have a great night, everyone. Good night. Don't cut yourself on the tactical paper clips that have hidden knives in them.
More. All of this because it was built with surplus gear, because, you know,
chest rings, organizers for men. True.
For about 143 bucks.
Yeah, cool though.
Or 83 for the pouches only. combined with my discount code down below. This is about the most
Fucking
capability
admin.
you can get for the asking price.
Serrated
Enough
documents.
said. Back to the video.
Bucky's!
Yeah!
I don't know what's got better branding, Bucky's or Texas. Bucky's isn't even that great.
We have to kill this guy, chat. We have to find him and we have to kill him. I'll run, thank you. Tactical programming sucks a win. Excellent, thank you. Is there any big prepper that deals with a more colder setting? That's got to be a whole different ballgame. Yes. Yes, there are a million of them. What you want to type in is you want to type in Alaska prepping. I promise you, there are 500 million fucking channels all about how to survive in the cold, how to be prepared for this, that, the end times, anything you could possibly imagine. There's so many. There's so fucking many. And some of them are really cool. Kenzie Mako, thank you. Wawa is superior to Bucky's. What the fuck? Hunt a moose with a spork. The Alaskan preppers are hardcore. Alaska bushcraft too. Then yeah, thank you. Casual Preppers podcast is one of my favorites. A lot of actually useful information, but they aren't crazy about it. Plus, they're pretty funny. I think it's okay to be crazy about it. I think it's okay to be crazy about prepping. As long as it's not like, I guess, impeding your day-to-day life. You know, I think there are some people that they like the aesthetic of prepping and they allow it to take over their life, and it gets to the point where they are prepping for the future but not living in the moment. Hashtag, oh my god, so deep. That guy, thank you. Bucky's is mid at best. Ew, Quick Trip is better. What the fuck is wrong with you? Who's that, thank you? Is there a channel for Anime Girl Uprising? What? Actually, negative, thank you. I really hate it when... falsely label my tactical deodorant assault perfume. Where's there? Thank you. The first, the ones on surge protectors, blue battery backups. What the fuck? Thank you. I remember Long Island after Sandy. I was one of the lucky ones who was only without power a couple of weeks. Many went without until December. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I'm a Snell, thank you. Have you seen the bulletproof flannel hoodie? I would wear that. Todd one, thank you. Does that mean tactical nukes are just nukes with knives and bottle openers on it? Yes.
The system.
Watch your mouth.
Sucks, dude. All you Texans can fucking come at me.
I think you should kill yourself now.
Is the Floridian talking?
What the fuck
Dude, is that iDubbbz?
So let's go through it, right? At the bottom, we have rule of law, nominal times.
Why are
basically,
iDubbbz and
right
Donut
now,
Operator arguing
I think-
about Bucky's?
No, knock on wood. This is distinctly unsexy, but represents one of the biggest shortcomings of the preparedness community. Managing and preparing your day-to-day life. Part of being an adult is being ready for the mundane, but similarly as dangerous year-to-year emergencies. These aren't just man versus nature like spare tire, first aid, being stranded, fire extinguisher, but also kind of man versus society. Going bankrupt, getting curb stomped by an unexpected medical bill, getting laid off during a recession, all somewhat likely, and compared to a shit hit the fan scenario, are basically a certainty. Even if you're convinced that the US is going to implode at some point in the
That's a good way of looking at it. Laura said, bro, thank you. Bucky's and 𝐏𝐵 are God's gift to Americans. Or HEB. This is thank you. Bucky's is just a store gas station. Who cares? Fuck you. Oh, thank you. This reminds me, there's some interesting World War II era army survival training movies on YouTube that are interesting, including ones for winter survival. This Altier, thank you. Your shoes look really nice today. What the fuck? Alec Rice, thank you. Pippa, I bought my tactical face connect best kit, but it came with 200 pounds of PC coffee and a plushie. On a scale of roadkill to a Texas sidewalk in August, how cooked am I? Cooked.
future. Nothing is going to hurt your preps more than if you go bankrupt 5 years from now and need to sell all of your preps and rifles to put food on the table right here, right now. I'm not going to dive into too much detail regarding this today. I have a whole video on the matter.
That's a
Consider
really...
this your fundamental building block for your entire preparedness plan, and a solid foundation in life matters a lot more than upgrading your weapon light to a slightly better weapon light or min-maxing your home defense rifle to make soft troops envious.
I never thought about that. I definitely, like, I was talking about, like, starting small and having, like, the basics and stuff, like proper first aid supplies and shit. But that's a really good way of looking at it, I think. You know, like, you have to be prepared for the more likely more realistic happenings, like an economy crash, and like, what are you going to do to sustain then.
Now the video kind of gets interesting. We get into local disruption. Disruption is defined as a disturbance or sometimes even a temporary halt to all or some of the building blocks of a functional society, but by definition is reversible.
Step 1, have spare income. Yeah, have savings. Ashelia, thank you. I need tactical Velcro pouches so I can wear all my Face Connect fan merch patches.
Such that local municipalities can likely handle it within existing infrastructures and SOPs, and if not, can request assistance at the regional level where services are unaffected. We can see this manifest as, say, multi-day power outage, minor environmental issues like local flooding, unexpected amounts of snow crippling local services temporarily, or that random time where we had so much wind in Utah all the semi-trucks kept tipping over and nothing could go anywhere outside of the city, and no one could go anywhere for about 6 hours.
Yeah, I think this is, in general, what I view as like the more common practical use for prepping, I guess. Like when I think of prepping, these are like the kinds of things that I think of, you know? Like, oh man, snowed in for a week, you know? 6 whole hours. Not being 6 hours of no supplies. You guys are like saying it like mockingly, but think about it like this. You know, how many shipping trucks are going in and out of your city? You know, like maybe not your local town. Maybe your local town is small. But your local city that sends everything off to, that redistributes to smaller grocery store chains and shit like that. Think about in 6 hours, okay, what if you have a medical emergency and now you can't get EMS to your house in 6 hours, for 6 hours? Like, what are you gonna do? And you don't have any idea of when it's actually going to stop. You know, you don't know when the wind is going to stop when you're in that situation. It'd be a hiccup and nothing more. You're insane. You're insane. I'm happy for you if you are perfectly prepared for like any sort of emergency situation like that. But yeah, it's not a hiccup. It's not. What if your house catches fire? What are you doing if your house catches fire? You can't. A fire started in another room. You weren't in there. It's beyond your control now. What are you doing while you wait 6 hours for the fire department to be able to come to your house? You know? Enjoy the warmth. It's a hiccup, Pippa. Just tell the fire to stop. What are you doing if you fall down the stairs and you've broken your leg and you're bleeding really bad, and you're trying to call the fire, or you're trying to call your friends and your family and your emergency services, and they can't get to you. They can't get to you. If they get in their car and they fucking try driving to you, like there's a great chance that they're gonna flip over and now they're gonna need medical help. Turn Windhelm, thank you.
I mean, actually, that's not technically in this category. I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was kind of cool. And yes, this includes the fan favorite civil unrest, where local police and services are temporarily overwhelmed by a massive uptick in loss of rule of law. From a supplies and preparedness perspective, a single grocery store trip is all you really need to get you through this. But that's the key, right? You want to make that grocery trip and to build those skills,
buy a doctor
experiences before these events occur, be it handgun skills, be it the water in your house, be it supplies, be it egress scenarios, whatever. You want to do that all beforehand, because if you try to do it in the moment, some of it is simply undoable. Some of it means getting stuck at a grocery store like everyone else and buying, I don't know, toilet paper was what happened last time. And that really feels...
That was so cringe. That was so cringe when COVID started and people's first reactions were, I need to go buy toilet paper. I guess I need to go buy toilet paper. Bro. Here's my disgusting take. If there is an emergency situation, toilet paper is not like at the very, very bottom of the list, because you can use it as like fire starter, and in general it's not like a bad thing to have. Like it has like a lot of uses, but like, it's definitely not necessary, you know. It's use a bucket, use a bucket. Use a leaf, use rags. If you're stuck in your house, you probably have rags. It's unfortunate and kind of disgusting in my opinion, but a lot of people out there do just use rags.
Like the big gotcha for preparing for this. If you can't right now, honestly, shut your door, power off all your utilities, and not lose 100 pounds because you're forced to go into fasting 4 minutes in, and or straight up dying because you only have beers, water in your house, then perhaps you need to go back to the drawing board, back to the pyramid, and you might realize you're eating a little too much of that red meat and a little too much sugar and a little too much of that $2,000 laser aiming module. And perhaps considering bulking up the base of your pyramid here and having a much more concrete.
Fuck you, Sparks. Massive pro tip, don't buy a firearm and food. Save money, just get a box of third-year-old families now armed and fed. I'm going to push you off of a fucking cliff. Shut the fuck up. Dalton Young, thank you. For good practical info about prepping, look up Listening to Katrina. A guy wrote a very practical website about preparing for disasters. Ooh. I've never actually been too much on the internet side of prepping and bushcraft. I've always liked bushcraft. I've always been surrounded in prepping culture. Because obviously my parents are both like super into it. So I've never really looked at these like prepper YouTube channels before. I watched some people do like bushcraft vlogs and stuff, but it is interesting to see all these different resources. Rocket Scav, thank you. How long until Pippa starts watching SERE videos? Steve Bush, thank you. Everyone should take a Stop the Bleed class. Oh, yes. And have supplies to deal with that kind of fell down the stairs and bleeding situation. Yeah. I remember in school it was mandatory for us. I don't know if... Oh, SERE. I feel like I've heard of SERE before. The SERE rabbit hole. I feel like I've... Hold on. SERE? Why does it sound familiar? SERE Survivals? SERE... Oh, survive, evade, resist, escape. I think I've heard of this. Ah!
Realistic plan.
What you do after looting?
If that's not zeroed by tonight, then something's wrong with my gun, laser optics, or...
What?
What?
I said I fucked your mother!
What?
Oh, was it good?
Oh!
No! Damn. It was on me, though. It was my fault. Small peepee. Yeah.
Eater boy, thank you. Have you read any? No. 𝐒𝐤𝐐𝐜𝐿? No, I don't. Vegetables, thank you. Also known as the Eastern Europe Tourist Guide.
Move down, or, well, in this case...
I've never read any prepper books. I'm serious. I get all of my information from Papakin and the programs and stuff that he has dragged me to. Next Angela Zingio, Solid Snake is said to be an expert in SERE. There's like not reenactments. Programs. Yeah, there's like classes and stuff. And I forget, there's another word for them, but seminars, I guess demonstrations. I can't remember the word for it. They're like things where they run you through like what exactly to do. Workshops.
Is up the pyramid. Sometimes we get a more enhanced version of this local disruption. That's the
simulation.
Disruption.
Yeah.
For the US, I think a good chunk of us can perhaps remember Katrina, which is a good example of a regional disruption.
This is what I generally view as like the peak of what you're going to reasonably actually experience. Stuff like natural disasters. This is like what I generally believe. You know, this is if you stopped prepping like at this point, you know, like you are prepared for this, I think you are generally set. Not to say you should not be prepped for the things above it, but like realistically, like this is what you're going to most commonly experience before systematic degradation, you know?
Cat 5 hurricane. Now, relatively speaking,
anything more is a waste? I don't think it's a waste. I just think it has diminishing returns. You know what I mean?
Hurricanes aren't all that rare. In fact, they hit almost yearly. But due to several factors with Katrina, it hit a large enough area with enough intensity, combined with some other critical infrastructure failures, that not just local municipalities were overwhelmed, but regional...
It's expensive enough. Exactly. Like, maintaining this level of preparedness is already expensive.
They hit almost yearly. But due to several factors with
well,
Katrina,
getting to that point
and
and
area with
maintaining
enough intensity, combined with some other critical infrastructure failures, that not just local municipalities were overwhelmed, but regional entities were hit as well. Instead of the wider area being able to converge on a relatively small zone, in the short term we found a very large area where everyone kind of had to fend for themselves. Even after help began to arrive due to the scale, it would take sometimes months for normalcy to be returned to certain areas deep in the hot zone. For a preparedness strategy, while not significantly different than a local disturbance, any preps here need to last longer and be far more robust. For example, while you can kind of suck it up in the short term, you're probably going to want a cook system. And can that cook system continue to function in terms of fuel?
Melos, do you think so? Generally speaking, Oklahoma is always prepped due to Mother Nature trying to wipe it off the map for a few months every year. Based.
For 1 hot meal a day, 2 hot meals a day, for weeks, months, shit, half a year.
That's a good point. Again, with like the fire thing, you know, people are like, well, if you're prepped for camping, you go up on your roof. Do you have a space where you can start a fire? Where are you getting fuel for your fire? Do you have anything that you can cook your food with? You know, like, are you just setting cans on the fire? Well, do you have the ability to actually set the cans in the fire without destroying it? Can you open the cans? Can you firewood? If you're in like a hurricane situation, your firewood is probably flooded. If it's raining, where are you keeping your firewood to keep it dry? Right now, do you have a tarp over your firewood? You probably should. Blooded firewood. Having a fire on your roof doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, probably not, but NP, thank you. Pippa, is it true that you've been doing volunteer rescues in Florida? The fuck? I was told that you saved at least 3 families and a local ranger. No. Just these nuts like you, just eat the unlive for legal reasons. This is joke. YouTube censor hate. What? Like angels like you, there's a real life equivalent of Voltec called Vivos who make luxury shelters for rich people. Their largest one can shelter several families. Gross.
What about personal hygiene? That's not so important during a week-long event, but what about a multi-month-long event? That can cause infection. What is your game plan for taking a big ol' shit twice a day? That's a lot of poop and it's gotta go somewhere else and causes issues. How about power, both for your big-ticket high-voltage items, but mundane stuff as well? Do you have a cell tower agnostic communication plan? And of course, are you ready to handle not just the spontaneous, but planned, organized violence against you? We've heard countless anecdotes of raiders in Katrina, and even in some short-term events that recently occurred, had one of my Discord members mention that a bunch of, quote, sketchy armed people were sneaking up to what they thought was an abandoned house. Too bad for them, they were running rotating firewatch and had night vision, and a brisk, hey, I'd be leaving if I were you, prevented a situation from, you know, escalating to a much worse situation.
Holy base. Chat, here's my aggro take. Here's my Pippa's a bad person take. I don't think you should let people into your shelter. I know that's kind of mean. Okay, never mind. Chat saying based. Okay, I'm safe. You don't know what somebody is going to do to you. You don't know if somebody is going to feel desperate and scared and potentially attempt to overtake you and your resources. Especially if you have other people to protect, right? You don't want to... I don't think it is ethical to risk their safety for an outsider. You know, it's not... Yeah, don't let potential raiders in. You're the one that prepared, not them. It's like, I don't think you should completely, like, deny people help and shit. You know, I'm just saying, like, people need to keep their distance, in my personal opinion. You know, like, if you have if things are clearing up and you have resources to spare or whatever, like you can go for it and stuff, you know, like you can toss stuff over to them or whatever. Maybe. I don't think it's ideal. If you're not going to be able to live with yourself, if you don't do that, then I think you could do that. I think letting other people know how many resources you have, though, is also opening yourself up to the potential for them to want to overtake you. If they're like it sounds really bad, right? But it's like if somebody's like, oh well, like you give somebody a first aid kit or whatever, you know, now they're wondering, okay, like what else does this person have? You know, I think in general it's better to direct people, give them advice, tell them where to go. This is my opinion. That's my opinion. Not the friendliest, but 9 out of 10 times opportunists. I don't know. I don't know what the percentages are on that. I just don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth risking. That's the one. Thank you. I have 5 neighbors who are anti-gun, free food. NP, thank you. I can confirm this. I would pretend to be a desperate victim, then unalive everyone and take everything from my family's nice shelter. What the fuck? Okay, you don't have to go that far. What the fuck, dude? I don't think you should harm other people. I think you should just keep to yourself. Zachary Wallach, thank you. My bad person take at this point. I don't have much empathy for the people that mocked me for having more than a week of food in my house. There.
I'll be quick to point out that in most of these cases, dudes are just looking for free shit. But it's not too hard to imagine a slightly more prolonged scenario where...
I also think it's... Oh no, Peppa's gonna have a take on looting again. I also think it's perfectly ethical. If your neighbors or whatever, you know, if they abandon their house, you know, like that's free food. I think you should loot your neighbors. If they're gone, you know, if they already left, fucking, like, take their shit, man. I'm not saying take their TVs! Pippa is endorsing stealing televisions from other people. No, take their food, man. Take their food. Take their first aid kits and shit, you know? Yeah, find those keepers.
The desire for free shit is replaced by the desire to need to eat.
Daddy, thank you. All titty bitty goth girls are welcome in my shelter. Young, than you should have bare minimum 5,000 rounds for the year. Keep family close, build your tribe.
Or drink or whatever. And we're going to see a lot more...
Take the DV, son!
Everyone having high-end expensive equipment cuts both ways after all. This is where we begin to see the beginning of modern prepared citizen stuff in the tactical sense. The night vision is incredibly useful here, as not only can you do the shooty McTooty Rudy thing with it, but night vision allows you to navigate and move places under the cover of darkness. Be it linking up with friends, moving friends from one area to another, consolidating, perhaps egressing the area when you decide.
Maybe I talked over it and he already said this, but also night vision is very subtle, you know, like compared to waving flashlights around and shit. Next Angelus, have you played No I'm Not Human? The premise is that you have to decide who to let in for shelter during the unbearably hot days with the risk that they might be a monster in disguise. I have not.
Decide you can no longer hold a position.
Pippa, is it okay to eat your neighbor's pets? If it's an emergency situation and you are out of food, yes.
You name it, right? Quick Dawn armor is useful when other people have rifles. The ability to use a handgun at longer distances than 3 yards, similarly, incredibly useful here when you have a concealed weapon on body.
Chad, I love animals, but like they're animals. You know, like you have to protect yourself. If it's you're 6 weeks into a hurricane or some other sort of natural disaster and you are running low on food and their fucking dog is still there, you know.
How about a PDW? Sometimes you might want to show up in certain
Not ideal.
areas.
It's not
The
ideal,
existence
but
of some governmental forces or just your neighbors that you don't know that well seeing you with a full-on rifle.
that animal's 100% gonna
paint
die
you
anyways.
as
True.
the problem child of the area, even though you're just looking to defend yourself. The key here is the tasteful application of tactical Gucci gear. Now,
I would feed other people's dogs to my dog in an emergency situation. All right. Shy Guy, thank you. My 50,000 lumen light versus someone 5k NVG.
not to prevent yourself from being called a LARPer, but without question, by definition of this scenario, services will return.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. Literally, sometimes.
Do or even look like you're doing hood rat shit with the boys as you turn the area into a personal Thunderdome, you're going to find real quick that your butthole is going to be turned into a local Thunderdome in federal prison 1 month down the line. Now, obviously, this type of scenario does not need to just be precipitated by a very spicy storm. It could be a number of things, like the temporary collapse of the power grid for a local area, lockdown of a very large area to a much more intense pandemic, you name it, right? It doesn't just have to be a hurricane, though it's very useful to use the hurricane because that's an actual real-world scenario that we saw in the United States. I also think it's worth admitting that in terms of intensity and likelihood, this kind of sits at an intersection of being fairly intense and requiring a good bit of capability to handle well, but also being something that could realistically happen in our lifetime. If you are not...
Not this, you think a lot of animals aren't good for food. Dogs and horses are better for hunting and traveling. I don't know if 99% of dogs would be useful for hunting. You know, there's definitely hunting dog breeds, but most dogs are not going to be particularly helpful. But a pet rabbit and mouse is just gonna get eaten anyways. Inches, thank you. Just stopped at a steel pipe next to my bed. Thanks, B. Christopher Ray, thank you. Nods are pricey, but damn, it has an advantage. Plus, it's a subtle way to move during the night without risk of exposing your position. Rocket Scat, thank you. Night vision isn't expensive anymore. Nerf sells night vision for $40.
Not able to handle something like this, it might be a good reminder to kind of upgrade your...
My dog is so dumb. Heartbreak emoji. Wild dachshund? I mean... I think funny enough, dachshunds are one of the breeds that would be more helpful for hunting. Potentially, because you can send them into like rabbit holes and stuff.
Strategy, plans, and skills, time
Rabbit
and
burrows.
funds permitting, of course. But also for people like me that
They
like
hunt
to prepare
rats,
for
yeah.
some more less likely but intense scenarios that, hey, don't get too sidetracked. It's
Go for
important to
doggo.
make sure you have this part squared away first as well.
Dogs can warn you. Dogs can also get you into a lot of trouble. Somebody comes up to your property. It might be better to just hide and wait. Now dog is barking and somebody knows that you're potentially there, adding more chaos, confusion to the situation.
This is peak
Good and bad.
influencing, Brock.
I've never seen you influence so hard.
I'm influencing so hard. Look, it's even rotating. I just need to... Oh, fuck.
But we're only halfway up the chart, so what's next?
Not
Systemic degradation. Essentially, the system and all that enables it is beginning to permanently fail. The key here is not that the system itself is failing, which we noticed in all the other scenarios, but the underlying systems that allow, the individual components to function are also failing. The term degradation here is used to denote irreversible damage. So something like the loss of monopoly on violence, collapse in legitimacy of rule, the ability to provide services for an extended period, loss of rule of law, or perhaps the carrying capacity of an infrastructure no longer can support the population that it used to. If you combine this with a disaster, you may find return to normalcy is very difficult or even impossible. In an earthquake, a Waffle House might cease operations because it's under 20 foot of rubble. But you remove the rubble, waffles are back in service, that is our disruption event. However, in systemic degradation scenarios, we have our emergency and we look to our Waffle House and find the rubble never got removed because no one is bothering to clean it up, or worse yet, the Waffle House is still standing, but no one wants to deliver the food because it's no longer worth it to do so. To say it's impossible to reverse systemic degradation, but it's...
At this point, I'd just die. What's the fucking point? what's the fucking point? Internet's never coming back. What's the point? It's over. It's over. I don't know. Off the grid lifestyle might be fun. We'll see if we ever get there. Crossover Maniac, thank you. Society looks down on preppers, but think of people in Georgia and Florida who I wish they did prep a little for natural disasters. I don't think society looks down on preppers that much. I feel like in general the tides have turned. Of course there are still some people that are gonna be like, that's crazy or whatever, especially like people who live in cities and shit, but I think in general people's perception of prepping has become much more favorable. Everyone should have at least 1 month of canned food just in case. Loose change, thank you. No Waffle House, no hope.
Not elastic in nature. It won't just spring back with existing systems
Echo noise, thank you. No Waffle House, guess I'll die. I mean,
in place. Underlying issues need to be solved first. Thus, you see a
people
lot
who
of
live in cities derogatory.
nations that are in a degraded state enter sort of a death spiral. As one core pillar fails, it starts taking down other systems with it. And as the state begins to fail, rule of law, monopoly of violence, trust, and institution begin to fade, especially at the fringes of state control. A little at first, and then more as the system continues to have its failure cascade. It's hard to point out exactly what this might entail for us in our cozy first world nation, but it's certainly not pretty. And we've seen this play out to a limited degree in failed states, regions of third world nations, and very distinctly in intense wars or civil. On the ground level, it's not nearly as sexy as your favorite
Marine Hellfire, thank you. Pippa, I'd message you through carrier pigeon. Please stay is my Yoshi through the apocalypse. Okay.
apocalypse movie, especially if you're in the vicinity of areas that are still under state control, because a lot of the systems are still going to be in place, at least partially, and you probably still need to commute to work, build a life, and make things work. But there's still also a massive uptick in violence, lower quality of life, rolling blackouts, massive price spikes, and the occasional unavailability of food, and more. And your imagination's the limit. If we kind of look outside of the social concentrations like cities, you may find that rule of law, utility, government influence, and everything else begin to fade, or in some cases even outright vanish. If other nations are being used as anecdotes, other entities may be able to step into this power vacuum, drug cartels, gangs, or even a local militia. All likely seeking to recreate some level of rule of law and control, probably in their image. Almost always with extreme violence, for those that don't toe the line, pay the tithe, the tax, or in some cases, for those that are just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe the wrong type of person in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Cartels would be a huge issue in the US. Already are. Always has been.
Preparing for these scenarios, continue to build on what we have so far. The ability to operate off-grid for long periods of time, and the ability to defend yourself from those seeking to do you harm, which of course is going to include a huge uptick in random violence, but now also may include targeted violence from organized groups. This is where we enter what many people in the industry are going to call LARP bullshit, as their preparedness stops at that regional disruption.
That's me. That's me. I'd call it LARP bullshit. It does tend to attract LARPers, in my opinion, who are obsessed with shit like tactical. 𝐒𝐤𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿, thank you. Can I be a gardener in the Pakistan compound when society collapses?
Here you're going up against an organized force that will very likely outnumber you. So good training, tactical skills, team tactics, as well as very high-end enablers like night vision and potentially even thermal, drones, and more, alongside a healthy dose of luck to get a leg up against forces like this. Finally, the tip of the pyramid, something many point to as just shit hit the fan, but actually represents a very staggeringly unlikely scenario: the complete collapse of society. Despite what is parroted time and time again, society itself as a whole is actually fairly robust. Sure, large parts of it can collapse, but the actual complete secession of society at large scale is fairly rare. This part kind of needs its own video, because if we do somehow...
This is what, like, Yellowstone and Cascadia are said to do, I believe. Maybe they fall more into systematic degradation, but I feel like anytime I hear people talk about Yellowstone or Cascadia, for those of you who don't know, Yellowstone is like the theory that the volcanoes in Yellowstone will erupt, and the sheer amount of damage that it will do will leave the United States of America in a state of complete disrepair, killing, like... What the hell? Somebody's cutting down a tree. Jesus Christ. I heard weird noises. Somebody's cutting down a tree. it'll kill. Was it 1/3? I thought it was like 80%. Am I cooked? I thought the Yellowstone super volcano eruption shit was supposed to be like at this time of night. I guess so. Java, thank you. Pip, can you shoot? Yes. Have you taken any classes? Yes, you should. You think it over. If you haven't, better safe than sorry. Papakin has taken me shooting quite a few times. It's fun to go shooting with Papakin because he does the thing where he'll like put his hands on my shoulders and like forces me to walk side to side and stuff, like abruptly making turns and stuff to shoot on the go. Pizza Man, thank you. Recently, we had disaster in Brazil and the entire country mobilized to help them. Watching people be paranoid here explains why the US is like this. Maybe they're not cutting on a tree. I don't know what they're doing. They're cutting something. What else do you think? I want to see a comedy apocalypse movie set in Brazil, but the only thing that changes is that nobody had TV for a couple months, so that was kind of odd. But, somebody asked what Cascadia is. Cascadia is the scenario in which the I forget what the name of it, but it's a fault line in the West Coast that runs all up and down the West Coast basically, and if it, I forget the term, Pacific Plate, the San Andreas Fault. Yeah, if the San Andreas fault line, I think if it shifts, I don't know. It's funny because like I hear about this shit nonstop. If you live on the West Coast, you hear about this shit nonstop, but I can never remember exactly what it is. Yeah, everyone just calls it the big one. Basically, what happens is the plates shift and causes a giant earthquake, if I understand correctly, and it will absolutely destroy the West Coast. California turns into an island. I thought it was like straight through California. Let's look at a video on it. But basically, everything bad. Everything bad that could possibly happens. Yeah, tsunamis, wasn't there a movie about it? Probably. Oh my god, this is 40 minutes long. Summary.
Sitting off the coast of the Pacific Northwest is a ticking time bomb. The Cascadia subduction zone will eventually erupt into the biggest earthquake in modern history, and with it will come a level of disaster that the United States has never before experienced. Unfortunately, it also happens to be in a region that has not prepared for such a catastrophic event. So what if the Cascadia earthquake hits tomorrow?
See ya fucking later, Portland!
Hello, and welcome to What If Geography, where we try and answer the great geographic what-if questions of the world. Portland. I'm your host, Jeff Gibson, and today we're talking about a topic that will literally shake the United States to its core. I am, of course, talking about the Cascadia subduction zone that lies off the coast of California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. So
Buff Whip, is my favorite American hero, and I will happily celebrate the day she graced us. What?
Bolt yourself to your foundation, because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Bye-bye, video man. Portland will be no more.
Most people in the United States know of only a single fault line, the San Andreas fault line in California.
Okay, I guess I'm getting these two confused.
Every once in a while, the San Andreas fault line sends a little shake through the spine of California, rattling people and...
Yeah, I'm like lumping these two together because they're right next to each other. Mr. Manny, thank you. I'm glad that I live in the middle of nowhere. If shit would hit the fan, I feel like I would have a better chance than most. Ex Angeles, thank you. As an Oregonian, I agree.
Depending on its mood, causing upwards of billions of dollars in damage. In 1994, a 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck Los Angeles, causing somewhere between $13 billion and $50 billion in property damage. This is in addition to 57 deaths and 9,000 injuries. It is still, to date, one of the costliest natural disasters in US history. But while the San Andreas fault line is much more active, it really pales in comparison to the Cascadia subduction zone fault line that extends from Northern California to British Columbia. This is because the San Andreas fault line has an upper limit of how powerful it can get. Every fault line has an upper limit, and the San Andreas fault line caps off at about an 8.2 on the Richter scale. The Cascadia subduction zone earthquake can go to at least a 9.0, and potentially much higher. That might
you have not prepared for it. Can't wait to throw tax money in a hole for preparedness. They will launder
not
it.
seem too different, but because earthquakes are measured on a logarithmic scale, a full point higher can be many, many, many times more powerful. To put this in perspective, a magnitude 6.0 earthquake will typically only last a few seconds. A magnitude 7 earthquake for about 15 seconds. A magnitude 8 earthquake for about 2 minutes. And
I've never been like consciously aware of an earthquake. People, I remember like going to school and stuff, and people would be like, "Did you feel that earthquake?" And I'd be like, well, they weren't talking to me, they were talking to their friends, but I would be sitting there and I'd be like, I didn't feel an earthquake.
a magnitude 9 earthquake for at least 4 minutes. That 1994 earthquake that caused upwards of $50 billion in damages lasted somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds. The Cascadia subduction zone earthquake at a magnitude of 9.0 would shake for much longer. And the reason why the Cascadia subduction zone fault line is so much more powerful has to do with the way the two—
Is this Brazil?
Two tectonic plates are meeting. You see, the Juan de Fuca plate is slowly sliding underneath the North American plate, or at least it should be. The reality is that the North American plate is kind of stuck. So the Juan de Fuca plate is continually trying to press under the North American plate. This is creating a lot of built up pressure and energy in a similar manner as if you were to pull a rubber band all the way back. At some point, that energy will snap and release itself, causing what is likely to be one of the largest earthquakes in modern history. The last time this occurred was on January 26th, 1700. And the earthquake
Sorry, kid, thank you, Bubba. Can I get a happy birthday from my Yoshi? Happy birthday from my kid! Happy birthday!
Estimated at somewhere between an 8.7 and 9.2 magnitude. If we go back even further, we can see that there is typically an average cycle of about 500 years in between each earthquake. Today, we're at about 322 years into this cycle. This might make you feel safe, but remember that averages are just that, averages.
This is not how listen, when you're on the West Coast, this is not how they tell it to you, okay? This is not what they say. When you're on the West Coast and people are talking about Cascadia, they're like, it happens we're overdue. It happens like every 100 years, or 100 years or 300 years or whatever the fuck. And we are overdue. It is going to happen literally any day now. We are overdue. It is going to happen. The big one is coming. And you're like,
the earliest estimated gap was just 390 years. And there's nothing really that says it can't be
it happens every 2 weeks.
2009,
thank you for that. Thank you. I hope you have a great birthday.
Geologists predicted
Oh, that's San Andreas, not Cascadia. Well, the two get fucking intermixed then. Maybe that's why I'm confusing them.
14% probability that the next Cascadia subduction zone earthquake will produce a magnitude 9.0 earthquake within the next 50 years. Those are not insignificant odds. Today, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia are scrambling to prepare for the inevitable Cascadia subduction zone earthquake. Prior to about 1980, there was no real idea to the dangers that the region faced. As such, buildings and bridges were not built up to any sort of code that would be able to withstand an earthquake. And unfortunately, they're all still very far from being ready. But before we get into what would happen if the mega earthquake struck today,
earthquakes and or not earthquake, the fucking bridges and shit in Oregon be like, what if we put wood here? What if we put some wood here? What if we put a little bit of wood here, and that's good, right?
If you're enjoying this video, now would be a great time to subscribe. More fun geography videos are just one click away.
Wooden duct tape.
The Cascadia subduction zone lies somewhere around 50 to 100 miles off the coast of the Pacific Northwest and runs about
what if we just used a big tree?
120 miles from the northern part of California, all the way through Oregon and Washington, and ending off the coast.
No bridge is going to survive the mega quake. Just store bridge supplies next to bridges. I wonder. I remember if I was going to develop any sort of like hyperfixation with like technology, it would be bridges. I remember taking a bridge, not a bridge unit in school, but I remember we had like a week where we learned about bridges, and that shit was fascinating. The different kinds of bridges, chat. I feel like they could create something, right? There's like okay, it's been like many years now, so I don't remember the type. I don't remember the types. But there was like the Golden Gate Bridge is this type of bridge where it's built to be flexible, right? It has these I can't really like open MS Paint right now. It has like the crisscross elasticy, not elastic, but like a suspension bridge. It's a suspension bridge. It is built to withstand, like, because it goes across such a large area, and because it's over the water, the winds are so intense that it has to be able to withstand those. So with something like, would the Golden Gate Bridge be able to withstand such a big earthquake, I wonder? Most earthquakes over 8 cause soil liquefaction, so unless the foundation is built way down, it will just destroy most bridges. Really? I bet there are videos on that. I bet there are! Wait, hold on. Golden Gate Bridge versus... how about versus earthquakes? Noise, thank you. The bridge! I learned about that from Kirsha. This is most interesting. Pizza Man, thank you. Helios, thank you. Make it more rigid. No Benfey bridges. Are there... Gold bridge under Loma Prieta earthquake. Wow! Chad, I don't think it's surviving. Oh, what the fuck is this? Chat, is that real? Chat, is this real? Chat, is this real? Next Angeles, thank you. In middle school, we use a program called Bridge Builder that lets you design bridges and test its weight tolerance. I played that game! It was so fun! This is not San Francisco Bridge. Let's see. Are there any interesting videos? Earthquake on Golden Gate Bridge? Bridge collapse?
0.1 magnitude earthquake.
That's not real. That's not real. Bob the Zobsing, how do people die from earthquakes? Like, just jump when it hits. Fuck off.
Built in 1937 in the midst of the Great...
Oh, is there like a... Adobe After Effects in the title? It's real. Is there like a... 3D Supermarket 10 Earthquakes comparison? This music is intense. I feel like I've heard it before. There's a comparison of all ground shaking intensities caused by earthquakes. The modified Mercalli intensity scale is a seismic intensity scale used for measuring the intensity of shaking produced by an earthquake at a single given location. Do I have anybody in my chat with, like, seismography autism? Intensity 2. A little bit of shaking. Just autism? Okay. So it's just a little bit more. Intensity 4. Oh, now it's like really moving. Now it's really moving. Oh! Makes I think you look up the Tacoma Narrows Bridge disaster, not an earthquake, but spectacular. We're learning about earthquakes right now! 5. Oh, this is pretty intense. I feel like this is like... Like, this is very, very, very uncommon. I feel like. In the US, anyways. Chat, what's like the scale that like the average like Japanese earthquakes are? It's common in Japan. I feel like I always hear about like level 4 earthquakes in Japan. 7, 8. But they like build their buildings over there to be like purposefully flexible and everything. Wasn't a huge one, but don't want to dox myself. Oh. Richter 1 increases a lot. What is this? Like, I wonder what the conversion rate is for this scale and Richter. Hold on. Japanese earthquakes. Earthquake buildings. Building technology. How Tokyo made itself earthquake proof.
Earlier this year, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit Turkey and Syria. It was the deadliest day in modern history for both countries. More than 75,000 separate buildings were destroyed. If you're wondering if it's somehow Erdogan's fault, the answer is basically yes, but also, just this time, a little bit no. It does admittedly make sense that these countries weren't totally prepared for an earthquake like this. The last time this region saw a larger earthquake was more than 80 years ago. But that doesn't mean that earthquakes of this size are rare, it's just that they happen in other parts of the world. Specifically, here. This region is
the fucking ocean. I think he means the highlighted red spots. Raven Vineyard, thank you. There's a really good anime movie you should check out called Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. It's very good, but very sad too. I don't want to be sad. Thanks, Angels, thank you. I only ever experienced one earthquake ever. It felt like being on a boat in turbulent waters. I was far away from the epicenter though. Brazil, thank you. Lived in Japan for 3 years. Never felt more helpless than when in a tall building I couldn't do anything more, but hold on. That'd be scary. Welcome, Lang, thank you.
It's called the Pacific Ring of Fire, and it's the most seismically active place on Earth. Why? It doesn't really matter. It has to do with old rocks and stuff.
That's a series,
but all
not
you
a
need to
movie.
know is that if you're planning on building the largest city on Earth, you should probably do it anywhere other than in this red area here. Now, unfortunately, this video was slightly delayed and we didn't get it out in time for the founding of Japanese society 14,000 years ago, so they didn't get the memo. And now you have Tokyo, the largest city in the world and home to 14 million people, built on an island that gets hit with earthquakes the same size as the one that leveled Turkey every few years, sometimes multiple times per year. And though these earthquakes do invariably lead to some casualties and some destruction, Tokyo isn't this. But how? Well, the main ingredients in any municipal meringue is buildings, and while the buildings in Tokyo look...
Chat, is it really okay for the Pokemon games to have a move called Earthquake? That, like, in hindsight, that seems like it'd be a controversial move. Like, they're Japanese games made in Japan. I'm not telling them what they can and can't do, but, like, in hindsight. I guess maybe that's why it's such a strong move in the games. Oh, Lucy, thank you. Herot Museum in Dallas, they have a physical earthquake simulator to stand on. I can handle the 9.0, but it gave me jelly legs.
Like the sort of buildings that might turn to soup with enough vibration, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to keep them in one piece. Every building in Tokyo falls under one of Japan's 3 different tiers of earthquake proofing.
Taishin, Seishin, Menshin.
Except for a small handful of buildings built before 1981, but these are pretty much all low-cost residential buildings, so fortunately the only ones who are going to die are poor people. Anyway, we don't need to worry about those buildings because they're all going to be gone soon enough, whether Japan wants them to or not. So instead, let's talk about the buildings that do fall under Japan's 3 tiers of earthquake proofing. The first and most basic set of standards is called the Taishin, and it applies to every building constructed after 1981, from simple detached houses to everything else. This mostly just dictates a building's general sturdiness, having a certain thickness of walls and a certain strength of beams and columns. Pretty much every low-rise building in Japan is built in a frame of steel.
Thank the Japanese government. No poor people allowed.
You won't see the sort of stone houses you might find in Europe or America because, unlike a flexible wood frame, a stone frame is either upright or it's not. That being said, this tier is
stone houses are so cool.
Only the baseline. These buildings will still shake during an earthquake, and your Funko Pops are still at risk of falling off the shelf. Taishin buildings are mostly built to resist the smaller 4 to 5 magnitude earthquakes that Japan experiences every day, and to avoid total collapse in the event of something larger. But for buildings taller than a simple detached house or small business...
Oh, so if you live like on the West Coast, you don't want like a stone house, I guess. I never really thought about that. Versus like if you live somewhere like Tornado Alley, I guess like it would make more sense to have like a stone house, right? Because like it's more like directly durable, I would think.
This might not cut it, which is what the next tier of earth.
Chet, how come houses in Tornado Alley are not designed round? Chet, tell me I'm cooking. If you made houses round in Tornado Alley, the wind would just like slide off them.
Earthquake proofing is for. This tier, called seishin, are features you'll find in many of Tokyo's high-rise office buildings, and they're designed to counteract the sort of swaying that
some are cheaper not to. Wait, really? Wait, they really have them?
Might shake a house, but topple a skyscraper.
Have
This
they-
is typically done with a device
They just
called
go in the basement.
a seismic damper, which can look like a whole bunch of different things. If your building's engineer is boring, they'll install
Building shaking in earthquake. During earthquake. Is there footage of buildings actually shaking like that? Oh.
This is what a magnitude 7.5 earthquake looks like when it rattles a 6-story wood-framed condo building. This test was done in Japan Tuesday. It was the final experiment of a 4-year program. The 23-unit building was built in a way that better distributes the shaking of an earthquake through a medium-sized structure.
It does such
Though
a good
much
job.
Stronger, the type of forces used in the simulation were similar to the earthquake in Northridge, California in 1994. 72 people died, and over 9,000 people were injured. The 6.7 magnitude quake caused $20 billion in damage. Multi-story buildings are more likely to pancake in strong earthquakes. Scientists hope this test will lead to building codes.
Wow. That's so cool. Not that the people died, but like the differences. Like how the buildings can like withstand and stuff. Well, I keep like clicking onto like exactly the wrong part. Oh. Dead. Jesus Christ. Hold on, let's see this one, let's see this one. I wonder like what exactly they're testing. Is it like different inner structures for the buildings? Perhaps? Different types of framing, construction methods and materials? Wow. I wish it had the numbers. I wish it said like how strong each was. Wait. After plywood wall bracing. Wait, so this is before plywood wall bracing. I guess all of these are before plywood wall bracings. Oh, it's in the description. I guess not. Well, this is after. It's like not shaking at all. That's so cool! I'd say that's an improvement. That's a massive improvement. Look at how much the light is jostling around versus look at this. Look at the other one. Without the plywood bracing, it's fucked. Next time, like, Tom Scott has a video about portable earthquake machines used to test building seismic tolerance, I believe. Mark Sampson, thank you. ATF bad. ATF bad. That's so cool. I appreciate they include the hanging lamps to show off the wiggle. True. Now, Pippa, do you know why that works? This... Okay, wait. Okay, plywood wall bracing. So it's this brown plywood that is making it more sturdy? Is it because it has a greater distribution area for the shock? Like here when the jiggle is oh, those are going, it's these going across? Because triangles, they bend so that it absorbs the shock. Basically, yes, the plywood forces it to distribute the force of the wall instead of it just going to the joints. Triangles, I assume? I mean, it says after plywood wall bracing. So here's before and here's after. So I'm assuming what the change is these plywood wall bracings? Triangle good? These are cut into squares, though. I don't know. Triangles are harder to push than square? These are squares, though. Plywood flexes? Quick, it's a thank you. People, have you ever looked up videos of Nikola Tesla and his earthquake machine? Interesting little detail of history. The joints are weaker, so they break more easily. I wonder like what... I wonder what actually is going on here. Okay. Oh, this one's missing, this one's missing the complete, like, cross. Like, this one on the right here. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor. You guys can see my cursor. But on number 2, right? There's like an X shape for the cross beams. And then on the left, they are angled diagonally. And then on the top, it's like completely covered up, but it's a plywood bracing. That makes sense with the triangles. They're slowly adding on stuff.
We have been working for many decades to
Yo, they got the RGB lighting!
of, structures under seismic loading.
This is surreal. This does not look like a full-size building.
A whole building.
This looks like 3D.
Subject the building.
This looks like CGI, chat.
Real and recorded earthquake.
The ultimate goal for this project would be that the...
Oh. They're both kind of crumbling, but god, that one like... That one really fucking crumbled. Thank you. How do I get this job? This looks fun. Can't think you the scientist picked up and moved my house to the earthquake machine. Mean prank. That's fucked up, man. Wow. Like it definitely sustained like heavy damage, right? But it's still... You're not dead. You know, if you live in this, you probably need to leave after. And probably have your house fucking demolished. Because the entire thing is, I presume, structurally denigrated. But yeah, you definitely survive. Yeah, one is a tomb. Damn, like you faced your house when Uruka births 1,000 cubs. It's standing, it'll need repaired at least. I don't know if the second one would survive a second earthquake. I feel like it's probably suffered so much damage. Yeah, it's structurally compromised.
Displacement, but we're also capturing acceleration. The shake table creates forces in the components we test because we have to accelerate the weight of the structure. That's what's actually happening in an earthquake. As the ground accelerates under your building, and your shear walls have to be strong enough to accelerate all the mass of your structure so that you stay on top of your foundations.
Crazy.
So the wall system can be built up to 3 stories tall, and there are 3 different levels of inertial mass.
This is so cool, chat. This is so cool. That's one of the neat things about prepping and I guess survival in general is it really depends, like your situation really depends on where you are, you know, like if you don't live somewhere with earthquakes, this does not matter to you, you know? Let's look at like houses that withstand tornadoes. Houses designed to survive tornadoes. The things we learn. A lot of variables on where you live. Yeah, from the mushrooms you need to pick to eat to your shelter. It's hurricane proof, can withstand powerful homes. Chat, can we powerful storms? Can we get an update on this? One man built a home that can withstand the strongest hurricanes? I don't want to get copyright struck by news. Whoa. Why a family left their house designed for category 5 storm? Inside edition will kill me. It's all news channels. I saw this on social media, chat! There was so much arguing about these. People were like, oh, if he doesn't have these strapped down to like 10-foot deep long concrete pillars, then it doesn't matter.
Straps and hooks. Pedro Casares showing us his unconventional approach to keeping his Orlando home intact through Hurricane Milton.
Does that even work? I don't know.
Right now, as you can see, the hooks on the floor, they're 8 feet deep of cement. They have rods in between, and it's to hold the friction of the roof from lifting.
His daughter explains the unique idea was born from experience more than 2 decades ago while Pedro and his family lived in Puerto Rico.
We had a hurricane that we went through, and the back of our roof lifted a little bit. It was aluminum.
Now,
I want to know if it worked! To not follow up on the story after the hurricane would be journalistic malpractice. Yeah, I wonder if it worked. The house and car survived without any damage. But what about his neighbors? What happened to his neighbors' houses? Thank you. Ultimate survival zombie earthquake apocalypse. What do you think happened to the neighbors? How deep do the anchors go? They said 8 feet deep.
For the cement, anchors, and made-to-order straps from Idaho that cover the front, back, and sides of the home.
They hold about 5,400 pounds of weight and wind.
Really, thank you. Slept well. That's not going anywhere.
So, yeah, we're giving it a test.
I moved the area, just didn't get hit hard.
Enough to withstand Milton.
Definitely just stay tuned for the aftermath. We shall see.
In Orlando, Brian Abel reporting.
Chad, I think they're cooking. Chad, I think they're cooking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't, for a tornado that directly hits it, it's toast. Probably, yeah. Probably. I think if a tornado went over this thing, like it's going to demolish the house. Mercenary, thank you. It worked. The other houses were trashed. Oh my god. But I think like for a hurricane, I think this makes sense, right? The house is not able to be ripped apart as easily from the top, you know? Like the wind cannot hook onto the wind cannot like hit the house and then pull up and fuck up the roof, you know? As easily. It's strapped down. So with that piece of structure better held together for the moment, like you would think it would help with the structural integrity of the rest of the home. Better than nothing. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it doesn't help. Not much, but it helps. It's not like it'll make it worse. The greatest weakness for houses. Oh, on the topic of it's not much, but have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the helmets designed not to break? Chad, these people were not cooking. There's explanations as to why.
Watch this before buying a helmet.
Oh, my friend, the next time somebody's...
I don't know. I've never seen this channel before, so I don't know like how reliable this guy is. But like, it's a pretty simple concept. Isn't that the point of the helmet? Yeah. The helmet absorbs the shock of the force applied to it, so it distributes to the helmet, and that's what causes it to break. Versus it passing on from the helmet into your head. It's a crumple zone.
Chasing you with the gas tank, yeah, you might want the last one. But otherwise, the one that breaks is actually safer. Seriously, bicycle helmets are designed to break, because the brake increases the surface area and decreases the deceleration on your brain. It's the same idea with cars. Old cars used to translate all of the impact to the driver, versus new cars collapse, trying to gradually decelerate the force of the impact.
Watch this before buying a helmet.
Isn't that neat? I don't know if you're surviving this car crash though. I don't know. I feel like it might be over for you. I feel like that's probably a little bit too much collapse zone. I think maybe we need to go back. Yeah, that driver's seat is merged with the wall.
collapse, trying to gradually decelerate the
I don't know, man. I don't know if you're getting out of this one.
force of the impact.
Watch this before buying a helmet.
Yeah, the entire fucking car is a collapse zone. You have a steering wheel in your skull, but it's okay because it's a collapse zone. Did you hear the drivers who are usually drunk survive crashes a lot more because their body's more relaxed? I have heard that. I don't know how true it is. It sounds true. Ironhide, thank you. I'm surviving. Just sounds like a skill issue. Do you think that's true? It feels true. If you're drunk, right? You're more relaxed, so you don't feel the shock the same way. I guess it's definitely true. Your skull becomes a collapse zone. The neck is clearly meant to be the collapse zone with the helmet. That makes sense. You need to be floppy. Drunks do survive more. According to first responders, it's infuriating. Drunk gives +3 to relax. Anyways, here's a channel on bushcraft. If you're interested in prepping and you don't know what bushcraft is, it's how do I say this? It's like a, for me personally, it's like a fun little fantasy. Like, oh, you like society collapses. Now you have to go into the woods and survive only with the bare essentials. That's basically like what bushcraft is. I mean, well, bushcraft is more not really about like society collapsing, but it's the idea of like going out with minimal tools to survive and surviving, and it's really cool. And this is a channel called the MCQ Bushcraft Archive, and he has a whole series on bushcraft basics. If that interests you guys. If you are interested in bushcraft, please do not go out and build shelters like this. Unless it's on your land, or you know whose land it is and you got permission from them. Do not go out onto public land and build shelters like this. It is very, very rude. Primitive technology. It's not quite primitive technology. Lumi, thank you. Today is my birthday. Can I get a happy birthday from my favorite Yabbit? Happy birthday! Some words of encouragement would be appreciated. Hang in there, man. I see you're donating in ours, which means life is hopefully okay for you. Hopefully. Apology from the 𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐴, but I'm actually from Argentina. A different sort of disaster. Yeah, I'll pray for you, man. I'll pray for you. I hear Argentina is beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful day, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a very, very happy birthday. I heard it's getting better over there. I have heard that too. I've heard it's getting better in Argentina.
It's Mike from MCQ Bushcraft here, and welcome to episode 1 of Bushcraft Basic Skills. For those of you who watch the channel, you'll know me very well. You would have seen a broad range of videos covered on.
I've not really watched this guy, but he's somebody that I've heard recommended quite a bit.
Channel,
so.
over the years that it's been running. For those of you who are new to the channel
There's
and this
a lot
training
of
series,
these, like...
the end. So what is Bushcraft Basic Skills, and what will you gain by watching it? Well, it's a video training series that is aimed at people who are right at the beginning of their bushcraft journey. I think when you're starting out in bushcraft, it can be incredibly overwhelming. The word bushcraft alone is like putting a small umbrella to try and cover the earth. All the subjects beneath the earth and the umbrella is the word bushcraft, and it's a word that doesn't really do all of those subjects justice. It encompasses all outdoor living skills and skills that date back millennia.
World of bushcraft.
Incredibly enjoyable and rewarding to practice. And these experiences are very valuable.
A lot of bushcraft stuff is very neat. It's a lot of like bushcraft channels and stuff that I've watched. They will go out with like just like a hatchet, some paracord, and a space blanket. Usually like just those things. Maybe like obviously like the clothes on their back and a backpack and Sometimes other stuff as well, but a tarp, yeah, also tarps pretty commonly. And they managed to do some really cool stuff. Bro, you could just go to Safeway. They managed to do some really cool stuff with it.
You'll find when you're practicing bushcraft, you're completely immersed in what you're doing.
It's not about like building like the shelters and stuff. It's about like surviving, you know? It's about surviving with minimal tools.
And that's one of the beauties of it. When you first start out, there can be some enormous hurdles to climb over, and you can sit there and simply rack your brain at how these things are actually possible. You'll look at other people out there who are doing bushcraft and you'll think, I want to.
There was one channel, I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. There was one channel that I used to watch. I said before, just to clarify, like I haven't really watched like videos on prepping and stuff, but bushcraft, I watched quite a few videos on bushcraft. I watched quite a few. I don't know if I said before that I didn't, but I definitely, now that I like, it was a couple years ago now. There were a bunch of channels that were really addicting. There was one that I used to watch where it was this guy and he like was trying to build a house in the woods, and he used to like bring his kids out like camping with him, like doing bushcraft with his kids. And most were fake. I don't know if I ever saw any fake ones, but the treehouse guy, no, it wasn't a treehouse. He was like building a house in the woods. And it was funny watching him run into like constant problems doing it. An actual house, well, like a shelter house, you know, not like with like a big fancy foundation or anything, but like with his dog. There was a channel that he was doing it with his dog. I don't remember if this guy had a dog. It's been a few years since I watched him, but he was building like this little house in the woods, like a log house, and like one of the issues was spiders and snakes. Like the house immediately became infested with spiders. Like they would go to bed in it and they would wake up and they would just be fucking coated in spiders. And so one of the videos, he was like, well, we came out here to stay in the house for a few nights and wanted to teach my son some stuff. But we just keep waking up coated in spiders. And it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, they do that. Hermit Status, thank you. Hey Piva, I have a good book series about wild edibles in America by author Samuel Thayer. He has 3 books so far with great descriptions for each one. Plus, he lists some plants that look similar to help you avoid them. Hell yeah. Jason, thank you. Bushcraft Hunt, look up David Canterbury. He was on the first season of Dual Survival with a barefoot hippie survivalist named Cody Lundin. Cody Lundin. No, thank you. Reign of Spiders. This guy sounds familiar. David Canterbury? Apology? Whoa! What's going on here? What's going on here? Desu, thank you. It's my own birthday. Can I get a very merry on birthday from you? Have a very merry on birthday, Desu.
Morning, guys. Dave Canterbury with the Pathfinder School.
Who is this guy?
Have a discussion today, real quick, about dual survival.
Cody Lundin. I feel like Cody Lundin sounds more familiar. Hold on. What? Cody. Jet, I have definitely seen this guy somewhere.
So now that I have that top peeled off, you can see clearly this mouth where you'd put a stick or whatever to drink the juice out of this.
I have definitely seen this guy somewhere. He was on a show? Barefoot guy? Dual Survivor?
Without wasting
Have I watched this show? How old is this?
the moisture within inside, which we can't afford to do. There's the eyes, there's the mouth, so that's where you hit it, right in the mouth.
Wandering the most dangerous terrains and having a strict father, Cody had a bit
Dual Survivor. Is Dual Survivor? Wait, chat. Chat, was Dual Survivor the show where they put them out in the woods and they could only bring like one thing each? And there was like one group where there was like this rugged tough guy. Yes, okay, I watched this. Okay, I did watch this. Okay, because there was like this one guy where he was out there and he used to be in like the military and he was like, I survived 3 tours in Afghanistan and I'm not afraid of nothing. And he fucking he left because there was a bear. He started using the emergency radio and he was like, there's a bear here. I gotta get out of here. I'm not risking my life for this. There's a bear out here. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember? Background noise, thank you. Les Stroud is my favorite. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been so long. Cody drove 2 people off that show? Oh my god. It is an old series? I have zero idea what you're talking about. The bear once again. No? There's a difference between bear and someone shooting at you? Les Stroud, Survivor Man? Was it Les Stroud? Les Stroud. Is that him? I don't know. Survivor Man? I feel like I watched this. Survivor Man? Is this the guy who drinks his own piss? I don't think so. I think that was the other guy. That's Bear Grylls. Okay. He did all his own camera work. Survivor. I know you did this, but are you allowed to upload this?
I know you can't.
I remember the one where he was going through like some glaciers or something. It was like really snowed in. And he was just walking through like a fucking frozen wasteland and he like fell into a fucking like glacial cavern or some shit and he had to get out. The Arctic one. I don't remember when exactly it was, but it was fucked up. And I remember hearing about it that he really did do all of his own camera work, and it was crazy like watching him like set the camera up like far away, I guess. Like imagining him setting the camera far away when he would do the shots where he's like walking over the horizon and shit. Ollie, thank you. To be fair, bears can take multiple shotgun shells and keep running. I don't blame the guy. There was I remember watching some Survivor show. It must not have been Survivor Man, but there was another one. These used to be all over the place, chat. These used to be all over the place. There was one that I watched where it was a guy doing he was spear fishing. Is it spear fishing? I don't know. He had spears and he was like throwing them into the water to try and catch fish. Why am I like deteriorating? He was trying to catch fish with spears, chat. Spears that he had sharpened, and he was making a big show of it. It was some television show. I think it was on Discovery Channel. And it like, he like does it and fails for like what feels like it must have been an hour plus. And then it cuts to like some fucking subtitle thing. It cuts to like a title card and it's like, so-and-so's attempts to collect fish with the spears were unsuccessful, and so he had to radio for supplies from the team or whatever the fuck. And it's like, oh my god! They didn't even fake it? You didn't even fake it? That's so brutal! I think that's Dangerous Catch. I thought Dangerous Catch was the one where they're on the fishing boats. I thought Dangerous Catch is the one where they're on like the big... It is! That's not this. That's not this. It's not Dangerous Catch. Or Deadliest Catch. It's not Deadliest Catch. It was a different show. It was a different show. It was a survival show because he was like, the whole thing was that he was like stranded on the on like the river, quote unquote, and he was surviving on the river. And so he was spear fishing. He was using I guess not, I don't know what it's called. Thank you. Happy day. Yes, please don't shoot the bears. They shoot first. PPS, please don't shoot. Oh, please don't change Cole Rapid. Thank you. Man versus Wild? I don't know. He had sharpened poles and he was trying to hit fish with them. God, this would be such a fucking great clip to upload to the internet. Excellent, thank you. By the way, I have a copy of Survival Guide written by Bear Grylls. I keep it in a Ziploc bag 24/7 in case it's submerged in water during a disaster. Hell yeah. Bear Grylls is strange. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know. I don't know. Man fails spear fishing? Is it called spear fishing? No, because this is like underwater. Man fails fishing with spear. God, I don't remember. Fuck, I don't know. Look up catching hell. Might say primitive fishing. It's not the modern though. The primitive fishing, primitive building, all that shit. That's like new. Like it's not like new, obviously, but like it's like a new buzzword. Got a fun, thank you. First, love you, Pippa, for everything you do. Keep it up, Pink Rabbit Woman. Second, cross-loading my first line gear by Cytoxel is a good video on how to wear clothes and what to have in pockets. Yeah, this was old. This is much older. Thank you. Have you seen the guy using a Glock to kill a lionfish? I have. Survivalist spearfishing TV show. Okay, survivalist spearfishing TV show. It was a fail though. It was a fail. Was it dual survival? I don't know. I don't. It's been so long. It's been so long. I do remember dual survival though. There was also one. Anytime it was dual survival and there was a woman, you knew you were in for the most miserable time of your life. It would always be back and forth bickering. Like the guy would be like, I can't rely on a woman for nothing. And the woman would be like, I am so tired of so-and-so's misogyny. If there's anything that's gonna make me go home, it's gonna be that. And you're sitting there like, oh my god. They should have told them not to do this. They should have went in. They should have went in and they should have been like, okay, you guys cannot pick the low-hanging fruit. Please stop. There was one, she was I think she was a hippie too. Wasn't she like from Louisiana or something? And she was like kind of hippie. She had like a beanie on. And she was paired with like she was paired with a guy like this. And it was just so miserable. I think that was one of the early seasons.
As you probably.
And then, oh wait, no, that was a different show. I think there was one that had like a cool guy from Alaska, but I think that was Below Zero. I think it was Below Zero was the show name. I don't know. Was the guy's name like Eli or something? I don't remember. But he like did he was a hunting guide in Alaska. Like he would take people on elk hunts and stuff, and he like did a cool like survivalist like fucking fantasy scenario basically where he like built his own lodge in Alaska. It's just like it's like his own like tiny house basically that he built, and he does like the elk hunting trips and shit. And it was Life Below Zero. That guy, the real LARP. It was the real LARP. That guy is fucking cool. I don't remember his name. There's a super amazing Joe Rogan interview. Is it the one with Marty? I don't remember his name. It's been a while now. It's been a long time. I've been pretty disconnected with this stuff for a couple years. I found so many random videos to use for this. What's his name? What was his name, chat? Does anyone remember? Where he had to face off with wolves? There's no bushcraft VTuber you've unearthed. I don't think so. Makes sense, just like you. Have you seen a SNL parody of NNA with Peter Dinklage? I have not. I don't like SNL. Could you recognize him if you saw him? I think so. Bear Grylls. No, not everything is Bear Grylls. I wonder if there's a bushcraft VTuber. Bushcraft VTuber. What the? Who is this? Akala? Huh? Oh, they make videos. They're not a streamer? Do they stream on Twitch maybe? It's just people reacting. It's just people reacting. There's nobody making anything. Why survival tactics don't work? There's just people reacting to stuff. Bush VTuber goes camping? The DIY VTuber? There is the DIY VTuber. Is Onigiri going camping with people? I think this is this a skit? Did she actually go camping? Oh! I never saw this. Kiara went camping? That's pretty neat. Huh. Nothing else really. Huh. Yeah, no VTubers like talking about like their bushcraft accomplishments or anything. She sure did camping. Was it not like camping? This looks like mowed grass. Still, it looks like fun. And then this is a group of VTubers doing camping, but kind of more face camera. Lua Lucky went in a canoe and streamed it. Lua Lucky canoe. Oh. Canoe. I don't see it. Maybe if we go to her channel. Canoe. Nothing comes up. Videos? Is it video or stream? Or shorts? Live? We got a free market niche, baby. Oh, this VTuber is streaming from a kayak.
Down so I can't see them.
What?
There's like 7 over there. Hi, geesey.
Wow.
Oh, you're really cute. But I think the geese scare away the smaller birds, and I think the smaller birds are the cutest.
Oh, and she actually has
very comfortable. I don't even
face
have
tracking.
to paddle, and I'm moving because of the tide. I like the streams. It's good ASMR. Yeah, I was actually wondering about like, should I play music? I mean, probably not now. I think we're still chill with the sounds of kayaking. Come on. And also, by the way, this is completely illegal. You're not allowed to hunt gators.
Oh, it's only one camera angle.
But I also don't really feel like eating McDonald's.
Only one camera angle though.
But I don't know what else to get.
It looks like she's got like a cartoon filter.
You know what? Honestly, you know what?
Glenn Villeneuve. I think it is Glenn. I think it is Glenn. Glenn Villeneuve. I don't know how you actually say his name. This guy is so cool. Tragedy. What happened to Glenn? What happened? Did he die? 9 days ago?
I'm not on the show anymore, you know. Did you know?
What happened?
He actually died?
They just got rid of you?
They renewed my contract. We went out and filmed 1 episode, and I never heard from him again.
Glenn Villeneuve, a name that immediately brings to mind the rugged, untamed beauty of the Alaskan wilderness.
He was so cool. He was so
Glenn became
cool.
a symbol of endurance and self-reliance, someone who could find peace and purpose in
I didn't know he was so
where
popular
most would be
online.
huddled under layers, hoping to make it through the night. But then the cameras stopped rolling, and just like that,
Oh, they
Glenn
just
was no longer
took him
a
off the
regular
show.
part of our weekly escapades. So he made a bold decision. He sold his. His fans haven't forgotten him.
What? So he's not dead? Maybe? Link's in the driveway. I want to see. Is he dead or not? He is alive. Man, fucking clickbait. Oh, that's so cool. Kitten. Cute. Not actually a kitten, but he got laid off with any communication.
Wow, that
yeah.
was really cool. There are a lot of links around, but you don't see them very often.
That was really cool. This guy's cool. He has like a, I guess now he probably has like a normal house, but like on the show, on Life Before Zero, if I remember correctly, it was a long time ago, 10 years ago apparently. It was like chronicling his journey of like building up that little shelter in Alaska, and like showing his hunting trips and stuff. It was really cool. I should never eat wolf meat. I didn't know he went on Joe Rogan. 10 years ago was 60 years ago for my memory. It is, man. Life and challenges in the wilderness. Huh. But yeah, he had like a little shack thing. Maybe I can. Do they show it in here at all? It looks like they don't show it in here at all. But he had like a pretty cool setup. Life Below Zero was pretty cool. There was one part that I always hated where it was the woman who owned like a hunting lodge or something, or not a hunting lodge. It was like a fuel resupply checkpoint, and she felt like an angry grandma to me. Sue? Yes, I think Sue was her name. Her parts were always like, one of my damn kids drove the fucking side by side into the fucking over the ice, and I told them not to drive it over the ice because I told them the ice was gonna break and it was gonna get all stuck in the sludge, and then it did get stuck on the sludge, and now we gotta go out there, and god damn it. And you're just sitting there like, oh, okay, grandma. He should have listened to Sue. He should have. Sue, she was on Joe too. Jesus Christ. Azumalan does 3D VTuber model camping. Azumalan? Have you watched the show Alone? I have not. Whoa. Breathtaking scenery. Full throttle touring on Yamanami Highway. Whoa. Yeah? Huh? Did she have somebody like... Did she have somebody model that? How did she do that? Oh, she censored the... She blurred out the speedometer. I guess to protect from reflection. Oh, subtitles! She's speeding. This channel is so cool! This channel is so cool, chat!
やっぱりですね、シートが高い、足がつかないんじゃないかっていう恐怖があって。
Oh, did she? Wait. Did she layer over? Did she layer her model's hand? She like layered her model's hand over it. I don't think it's like I don't think it's like a I don't think it's like a tracking thing either. I think she like adds these little touches in to make it seem more realistic. I don't think it's like a clunky like she's doing the tracking somehow and it like overlaid. It's like a it's an edit. It's an edit for immersion. That is really really cool. You'll see how they get people. When are you going to go on Joe Rogan?
挑めずにいたものの大分で初チャレンジになりました。いやかっこいい。とにかくかっこいい。
And then she edits her model on and stuff. That's so cool. And then I guess for this, is it maybe... I want to say it's probably not stock footage, but are there like palm trees like this in Japan? Oh yeah, I guess it must be. So I guess she probably has like a camera on the back of her helmet?
アスリムが今走ってるのは大道街道という海沿いの道です。
Oh.
魚の匂いだ。バトルしないでよ頼むから。
I wonder if she records. I wonder if she records the audio as she's going through. The audio sounds too good. I watch a lot of these like motorcycle vloggers. One of my favorites was it? No, it wasn't 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵za. Was it 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵za? I think it was 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵za. There's this guy. I should look up 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵za on stream. He used to do like motorcycle videos, like driving through China. And he would like just talk about China while he rode his motorcycle. Now he does different stuff. I don't know if he's still. I stopped watching him because he pivoted to very different content. But 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵za and 𝐿AOI, yeah. 𝐿AOI. Yeah, 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵za and 𝐿AOI 86. Yeah. They were both of them. They would ride their motorcycles through China and then the content changed. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna. Oh, you pronounce it like Yaoi. It's 𝐿AOI. It's 𝐿AOI. Wow. This is so cool. They got kicked out of China. That's why they changed their content. He had not gotten kicked out yet when I was watching him. All right. Listen, I was there. I was there for the conversion. All right, of his content. I used to love 𝐿AOI, 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵za, and Oriental Pearl. And those three. Uh-oh. Do not quote the scriptures to me!
なんかちょっともう日本じゃないみたいここ。西海岸っぽくない？
This is so cool. This is so cool, chat. I want to make content like this. This is not complicated. This is not complicated. Whenever I've like recorded footage for things in the past, and I like had the pieces, and I just was never sure like how to assemble it, because it never felt like I was doing it the right way. Like I got a bit of footage in Japan and stuff, and I'm like, how do I make this into something? I don't have experience. I've always loved YouTube. I've always done content, but I never did like vlog content, you know? Like that was never my wheelhouse. So trying to like figure out how you do that kind of stuff. Trying to like, it's already like, I already don't get how other people do it just in general, but then when you add like the VTuber layer on top of it, it's like I was never really sure how people did that. But like looking at how she does it, like this is not This is not too complicated. This creative editing is going to be key. Just had the VTuber overlay. Well, it always felt like because I wasn't... Like, I didn't have my model, like, up and going. Like, I wasn't tracking, you know, myself as I recorded footage, that it didn't feel, I guess, connected enough. I don't know. I like the how Watame has a series that's kind of, it's kind of like live vlogging stuff, and she just used like she just uses like PNGs overlaid on top. But this is like a really, I feel like this is like the best way you could do this, I think. There's no way that she's recording this audio like while she's doing it, right? There's no way. But I guess you could always like record the audio, and then if the audio is too bad, you can just dub back over it, you know? Recreate it. Rather than like scripting it, you could just yeah, re-record it. That's recorded while she's driving? You think so? Sounds like she's riding? I don't think it sounds like she's riding. I think it sounds like she recorded the audio of herself riding, and then she dubbed in her voice afterwards. If she did do this... Oh, this sounds... See, this sounds different. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. How did she get the audio so good? Could be a mix of both. Maybe it's a mix of both. How did she get the audio so good? If she's... What? DJI mic, shut the fuck up! Good mic and a closed helmet? Is it a lav mic that doesn't pick up noise? You can scrub the audio? Maybe that's what it is? I don't know. How does she do that? I want to know how she does this! Oh, pretty! Chat, I'm going to binge. I'm going to binge this channel. Holy shit. Oh, cute. Oh. Wait, she does like in-person interviews too. This is so soulful! Her channel is really cool. Thank you so much, whoever suggested this channel. David McFarlane, thank you for the 5 GPPs. Thank you. I have never seen this channel before. This is so cool. Winchester Lock, thank you. I recommend her camping video. Virtual JK tries camping for the first time. Wait, what was that shot? That was cute. How's she doing this? I guess it's just gotta be like talented overlay. Oh, she's 3D in real life. Shut up. The magic of editing. This is so fucking cool, chat. Okay, let's oh, like pre-set up tent? Or did she set it up? I guess, oh, the pre-set up. I've got a good idea how she does it. Look at like the hand overlay and stuff. That looked like it was like 2D. I guess like the production process would be you record everything, trim it all up, and then have like have somebody else go in with like, I guess you would go in. You would go in and you would like record the segments like this to overlay on top. And then have somebody else go in to do like the more complicated stuff. Like the hand opening the door. Maybe? Goodbye, thank you. Pippa streaming cycle fund. Quality and commitment to the bit is so high. It's so high. Ah. Oh no! She got a family-sized tent and she's on her own! This is so cool! Like, how's she doing this? How's she doing this, Chad? How's she doing this? Rotoscoping. How's she doing this? How's she doing this? She's not literally so Is it she's maybe she recorded the footage for this and sent it as like an example for how to be animated or something, and that's why like the audio lines up and everything and the with like the movement, but then this is just a still frame taken before, because it's like the way like the chair moves, like you can see it, like it's not like real movement. The next Lunardic, thank you. She's a real life anime girl. Like, shut up! Isn't this 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐵 tracking? I mean, it might be afterwards, but you can't just like, you need like an app or something for all this. Like how what? This is actually an insane amount of work. It really is. This is fucking amazing content, chat. Purely on like a technical level. Like this is like all this little stuff. Like you guys don't think about it immediately. I mean, some of you guys probably do, but like stuff like this, she had to like cut the image of this table. Not table, grill. Of this grill. And layer it on top, just for like this basic shot, like all of this, every little piece here, like unless she's using some sort of like AR technology that like automatically graphs it. When was this uploaded? This is 2 years ago. It had to be pretty crazy AR technology though. Probably easier with AI. But this is 2 years ago. I don't think she was using AI for this. That's not food! Don't eat that! Burn some acorn. Please, thank you. It's like one girl making Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, I don't think it's AI. Oh. See, like, stuff like this. Like... Chat, this is so complicated. This is so complicated. So is this a real fire starter? And then she's had... I think Okay, I see. So she's got the... Okay, she's got the... Okay. Chat, I get it. Chat, I get it. So this black box here for the flint is in the model's hand. And the model and everything is layered on top. The igniter, she is... Like, this is real. This is not a model, and this flint is not a model either. This is also real. So it's just this black box layered on top. This is all layered on top. See how it like wobbles? See how the flint wobbles off the base? But then this. I guess that was also... What the fuck? That's so much editing for one shot. Hold on. This is so much editing for one shot. Because that's the real flints. That's the real footage of the flint, I believe. It is the real. Oh my god. What? Maybe it's just maybe it's just an image of it. I think it's just an image of it. I think it's an image of the flint she's holding in one hand. And then the sparks are the real footage, but how does she get this footage without like her 3D self like ever getting caught on frame? Maybe thank you. IRL VTubers use TDPT. It automates all the full body stuff. Mercenary, thank you. This is almost like AI rotoscoping on less post. Say as well. What part? What part? You're doing this the complicated way. Chat, this is the easiest way to do this is you set this part, the flint, on the... You guys can't see my cursor. On the board, right? And you scrape off a bunch, and then you can like pour it onto the fuel. Like this is string. And then when you flick the flint, it catches more easily. Doing it like this is going to take for fucking ever. doing it like this is gonna take forever. It's a lot easier. Lighter fluid. I guess you could also use like lighter fluid or gasoline. But if you just have the flint, you can just scrape it off. Like just sit there, scrape a bunch off, and it'll catch more easily. I'm doing all this shit on easy mode. I have a father that teaches me everything. Now you're here! Watch out! This is so cool. Fatherful behavior. Anime has created fighter. We are doomed. I don't think primitive people had flint starter. It's very endearing to see Pippa so enchanted by this channel. It's fun content, and then on a technical level, this is like insanely impressive. This content is crazy. Like here, I wonder if she was actually sitting in the chair and recording this, and then I doubt it, right? I doubt it. I'm sure she just like set the camera here and got some B-roll, and then Because like layering everything over and stuff would be such a pain. Are many shots where her shadow's in frame? I don't think her shadow's in frame here. But yeah, like here she actually... Like, what the fuck? Is that a shadow? Eldorado, Eduardo, thank you. Is this the future of VTubing? No, this is too high effort. Little Heart Dragon, thank you. Is this the new season of Laid Back Camp? Shishito! Oh. This is so cool. This is so cool, chat. Oh. Some burnt ends, but that's okay. No, the burnt ends make it better. Kill it. There's so many cute shots! This is crazy. Every time I think this is peak content, this is. Chat, this is the best shit I've ever seen. I'm curious though, this is... She's got her phone here. Is this just for recording footage or is this for tracking? I'm so curious how she does this! One more time for the road chat. Footage? It's gotta be footage. She's not live track. There's no way. There's no way it's live tracking. Cute. Message her, just ask her. Hi, I want to steal your gimmick. How do you do it? This is... Chat, this is like the best channel ever. Hell! Smokes, I think stuff like this makes me think that Chris Chan was cooking when he was talking about the dimensional merge. No! No! Wait, what does she actually do when it gets rainy? When it gets rainy, did she drive in the rain? I don't know if there's footage. Hot springs. Oh, she was going to the hot spring. God! Okay, I'm gonna like... I'm gonna binge this channel. Mercenary, thank you. This is just pure wholesome... Oh, this is just pure wholeness? It must be rotoscope? I don't think it's rotoscope. I think if it was rotoscope, it would be cleaner. In some areas. Like, particularly in the scene where she's dancing. I think if it was rotoscope, her feet would not be like moving through the ground like this. Like, it wouldn't be like moving up and down as much. Rotoscope, for those of you guys who don't know, is when you like animate something by hand over over like live footage. Yeah, frame by frame. It's VR tracking. She's inside one big VR room. I feel like it's gotta be... Okay, my hypothesis for this is that for these shots, I think she recreates it in 3D. She recreates what she did in 3D. And I think she uses like a AI like eraser for her flesh. You know what I mean? I think moments where like the flesh body fucking better way to word this. Like, okay, like this scene right here. I think she probably for her actual body used either like an AI eraser to like remove human body from the scene and then overlaid the AI on top of it. This video is 2 years old. It's not AI assisted, but AI tools like this have existed for like 5 years plus. When I say AI, I'm not talking about using shit like novel AI to fucking create her model on top of it. Stuff like erasing a person from an image or a video, like that has been around quite a few years now. That's not, depends on how you define AI. You're just using it as a catch-all. But because this is how the programs themselves advertise the tools. Photoshop and After Effects have had this for a while. Yeah. Content aware fill is over a decade old. Because AI is a catch-all. They weren't called AI back then, just algorithmically. If so, I was still called AI. You could do this with After Effects like 10 years ago. Yeah. Like that's gotta be what it is, right? That's gotta be what it is. But then how is it so clean? How is it so clean? What is the secret? What is the secret, chat? What is the fucking secret for this chat? What? Because if she's using those tools, like how is it? It looks so. Hold on. Is there? There's like no. There's like no funkiness on the bike. I don't know how she did this. Bless you. Thank you. I don't know how the fuck she did this. This is amazing. This is fucking amazing. I don't know how she did it. I have several different theories, but like stuff like that had to just be like she captured the B footage and then overlaid it on top. Because like a lot of people are like thinking of the DIY VTuber. And for her, DIY VTuber, the AC unit. What she does is there's like a software that you can okay, what the fuck was her name? Where it like automatically like removes the person from the footage and then overlays the VTuber model on top of it. But oh, chainsaw VTuber? I hate my keyboard. Not coming up. Oh. Thank you. There we go. Cat, yeah. This person has some content. What the fuck? What the fuck? Maybe it's the same. Maybe they're using the same app. Maybe it's the same app. Am I cooked? Could be full suit. It's not a full suit. It's not. Please, no K-pop. You will fucking kill my channel. Maybe it is. Hmm. 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 I know, Shiina Nome has like a tweet where she explains how she does everything. So maybe that's what 𝐒𝐴Z𝐬𝐢𝐚 does as well. But she uses the same app and then she just goes in and does like more careful touch-ups as well after for like the hand and stuff. Cute. She's so talented.
いいでしょこれだけで2時間ぐらい経ってた今日は一旦ここまでずらかりずらかりいいよね
That's cute. Huh. It's already 9:40. Jesus Christ. Oh. Shots look well planned too. Probably helps. Yeah, I think she's a fucking master cinematographer, man. Man. So cool. So cool. We got so off course. Daniel Sierra, thank you. Oshi check if they have making of vids or in the description. I'll have to check. I'm gonna binge her channel tonight, chat. I might, this might, you want Miss Super Chat list? Yes, please. This will probably be one of my new favorite VTubers of all time. She's so cute. She's so cute. This content is so peak. Oh, so peak. Let me... Ask Matron, thank you. Pippa fishing stream when? I feel like streams for this kind of thing would be too dangerous / difficult. But pre-recorded content like this, that's definitely more doable. Still very difficult. Versus Kitsune, thank you. That's actually correct. You prepped for a certain number of people. Even family members have potential to be turned away. Kusa, thank you. Unless it's a goth girl. VHS Vulture, thank you. Empathy is for those that can afford it. Person who sold his wife, thank you. Pippa, is it okay to eat my neighbor? That'll probably make you sick. Sergeant Reaper, thank you. Noted, eat neighbors, pet rabbits. No! Just these nuts, thank you. I'm happy I can make beer, wine, and shine. Great for bartering. Unironically, if you're in like an emergency, like disaster scenario, most people are not rational. You know, most people will not act rational. And if you have alcohol to trade with people, cigarettes to trade with people, I'm just saying, like that's not a bad strategy. I think. I don't think that's a bad strategy. Maybe I'm crazy. The prison life, yeah, that's like what they do in prisons. You think outside of prison it's gonna be any different? When people are prisoners of their home, prisoners of their situation. It's just a pretty good strat. I think it is. Next Angel, thank you. It's believed that most common makeshift guns will be single-round shotguns made of pipes in a long-term post-apocalyptic scenario. Makes sense. Age of Divinity, thank you. Did you hear the funny internet tidbit that the IRS has plans to collect even in apocalyptic scenarios? Probably BS, but funny and sad if true. I genuinely... Okay, like, maybe I'm schizo. Maybe I'm a little bit too cynical. But I think that's unfortunately very, very viable. I think that's very, very likely. I don't think it'll be like on the large scale of, oh, you didn't file your taxes, but more in like a local regional area, you know, like, oh, you didn't fucking pay your taxes, like we are going to come to collect. You know? Crossover Maniac, thank you. And by some strange coincidence, average IQ scores went up after disaster takes TV stations off the air. Okay, my controversial take is I think generally exposure to media makes people smarter. I know, people are gonna hate that take, chat, but like, think about it like this, all right? Most people don't want to read. Most people don't really like reading. Depends on the media. It does depend on the media, right? Like if you're just watching CoComelon, right? Or reality TV constantly, you know, like that is gonna brain rot you. But like a lot of people, they don't want to fucking read. They don't want to like sit there and do that. Like most people don't have time. TV is just much easier to consume. So if you're just sitting there watching like Discovery Channel or movies or whatever, you're being exposed to so many things that you might not have ever seen before. You know, like you take it for granted, right? If you live in, think about it like this, right, chat? A lot of people, they live in cities. They've never lived on a farm before. If they've never watched a movie or a TV show or whatever about people that live on the farm, there's like a very good chance that they would have no idea what it's like at all. You know, already a lot of people who live in cities, they don't have any idea, right? But more people do know from TV now. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if there were still video games, you'd still have those people who know from like fucking Stardew Valley and shit. But in little ways, it broadens your horizons. Eduardo, thank you. We're VTuber fans. We love information being relayed to us. Media has the potential to widen horizons and also to narrow them. True. Epoxy, thank you. Japan's big one is if Mount Fuji erupts, basically, the Tokyo metro area would be destroyed and essentially collapse all essential services. Brian Bob, thank you. Pippo, Wikipedia read-along incoming. Wikipedia read-along? Do I have a Wikipedia? I don't think so. Hold on. I'm gonna assume not. They don't like giving them to YouTubers. You just mean Wikipedia in general. I have a VTuber wiki. Wikipedia speedrun is a fun one. The one where you like try to get to like a specific topic. Okay, back to super chat list. Wiki reading in general. I guess could be interesting. Big Bad Beer, thank you. 50 years from now, the big one is certainly due any day now in like 50 or so years. Background noise, thank you. They'd be ready if they stopped stealing the money. Charles Zhu, thank you. Lived in Japan for 3 years. Never felt more hope. I read that one. Claire, thank you. Rock and Stone mention. Ironhide, thank you. Only earthquake I experienced was the 2011 Virginia quake. Was still in high school at the time. Washington Monument cracked a bit as well. One, thank you. We need to sign a petition to stop earthquakes now. What the fuck podcast, thank you. I used to be a geologist. Look up earthquakes and building resonance to learn how buildings vibrate and shake and collapse. I will have to do that later. Average at best, thank you. You can check the UCSD seismic plate. They built a tall building on it and did artificial quake some time back. Ex Angeles, thank you. Fun fact, Nikola Tesla believed he could blow up the earth using large stockpiles of explosives placed in specific locations around the world. I wonder. Probably not, right? Probably not. But maybe, depending on how intense the explosives were. Society tomorrow, thank you. Every region has its disaster type. IRL Catch-22, Nuclear Hellbird, thank you. $5,000 HOA fine for roof straps, true. They're like coming out there in the hurricane and they're like, that's gonna be $5,000 for the use of lawn decorations. Or it'll be $3,000 for the use of lawn decorations that aren't approved or seasonal. Specifically within the seasonal window. $2,000 for putting something on your roof. No roof decor allowed except for Santa sleighs. That's gonna be $500 extra for it being yellow yellow straps. We don't do yellow lawn ornaments. That's going to be $600 more for the holes in your grass where you put the 8-foot deep concrete pillars. All right, thank you. 18 big peepees. Let's go, Pippa. And HOA would do this. They would. It's funny because it's true. I'll run, thank you. I like that character Randall Clark from Fallout New Vegas. Jason, thank you. That's old school Naked and Afraid with the man versus the Karen on his team. Ah, there's one with a girl who came with her dad's magnifying glass. a great tool to bring, but it's also like I guess you could use it for like fire starting. I guess. What else could you use a magnifying glass for in an emergency situation? I don't know. Unlimited fire starter? I guess fire starter. A signal mirror, but they're trying to survive, not trying to like call for people. I don't know. Examining wounds. Nabanakle, thank you. Pitmobile Adventures, let's fucking go. Young the Eldrick Gentleman, thank you. Seeing this, I don't understand my face connect. Can't do range day stream with Donut and Brandon. I'd like to. I'd like to. I never did I already mention I got a DM from Donut Operator like last year inviting me to go. But unfortunately could not make things work, sadly. I believe you did, yeah. Would have been cool. Would have been cool. I told Papakin about it because Papakin's a big Donut Operator fan and he was like, what? Why didn't you go? What? And I was like, Boomerang, thank you. Fishman, put the girls in the woods. Are you even trying? Lord Hapex, thank you. See, I told you my wife is real. Angel, thank you. I know a pair of VTubers called the Omega Sisters who do IRL streams by having VTuber characters' face superimposed over their real faces. Omega Sisters. I'll look those ones up as well. Malcolm Lang, thank you. She's a real anime girl. It is simple. Mercenary, thank you. I think AI rotoscope / VR tracking and wholesomeness. Martin Scorsese, thank you for the $50 dues. Absolute Cinema, here are some funds to ask her how she does it and shut the armchair video editors up. I'm being an armchair video editor. I'm so curious. I'm so curious how she does it. Maybe I could have management reach out. I'll ask management. I'll ask management to reach out and ask how she does it. Good, thank you. Could you accomplish some of these shots by making a green environment in Wado, a VR chat, and recording yourself in it like a green screen? Yes, but it'd be really hard to make it line up. It'd be really hard to make it line up perfectly. But you could do it. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it, chat. Straggler posted. Michael Pridebun, thank you. Access to media makes people smarter, but access to constant info makes people a little dumber. That makes sense, because people don't have to really internalize anything, because they can just constantly go to the internet for answers. My foot hurts. I dropped my phone on it, and it still hurts, and it's been like 3 days. Please don't be another arm situation. Arclight, thank you. The Seed Online AR view, if you want to check it out. I will take a look. I will take a look. I'm gonna take a look at Shiina Nome's how-to guide again. I don't know. One of the things that was like filtering me a bit was I didn't want to have to learn how to use an iPhone. Because I already downloaded one of the softwares or one of the apps before that was like in a recommended guide because I wanted to experiment. But iPhones are confusing. I don't imagine getting filtered by Apple. I don't know how to use them. iPhones are easy, that's the point, but everything's so different from Android. I can never even remember my password. I feel like a boomer now. It's always like, please enter your password to install this app. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking like check what email I used for this. I don't know. I don't know how to fucking use it. Why can't you just like scan my fingerprint and give me the app? Why is it doing this? How do I make it stop? Don't you use one for VTube Studio? I do! And that's it! That's it! I've never used this one. I tried playing Star Stable on my fucking work phone. I have an iPhone for work stuff, for the VTube Studio, and I'm like, yay, I'll play Star Stable on it, because Star Stable used to be iPhone only, and I couldn't figure it out, chat. I couldn't make it work. It's too confusing. I've never been super phone literate. Mental skill issue. Well, I've never even like my Android, like I use it a lot. I use it a lot, but I'm playing fucking video games on it. I'm playing video games on it, and I make all my thumbnails, except for recently I've been using Canva on the PC. But usually I use my phone. I've just been in like a weird quirky mood where I'm like, you know what, I'll use Canva for a little bit. See how that goes. Canva's OP. Canva is OP. I still prefer PixArt. I like PixArt on the phone to make thumbnails. PTNP, thank you, Pippa. You're not literate, period. True. Thanks, Angela. Thank you. I suggest using a password manager to save and autofill your passwords. That way you only have to remember one password. But I'll forget that password. PixArt is fun to mess around with. PixArt is such a good app. I don't know. Maybe how do people learn how to use iPhones? What can I do to learn how to use it? Mobile thumbnails. Yep. I don't know. You just play with it. But everything's different. Oh. How did you learn how to do anything, Pippa? That's fair. But I don't like it! I don't like iPhones! I don't want to learn! I want to remain ignorant and in bliss! But also I want to make cool content like this. Man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Get the iPhones for Dummies book. Yeah. Ah, whatever. I'm gonna send you guys off, I guess. Thank you guys so much for popping in. My name is Pipkin Pippa. I will see you guys not tomorrow, but on Monday for Monster Movie Monday. Oh, thank you, live action Pippa is just a massive censor bar with the word PP written on it, covering her entire existence. Problem solved. Wait, one more tangent. I feel like in Japan, like doing this kind of content is more okay, right? Because it's like a smaller space, so people don't just automatically assume you live somewhere when you record footage there. But like with me, if I go anywhere, like America's really big, but if I go anywhere and record footage, people are gonna be like, Thank you. You're really paranoid? I don't know. That one GeoGuessr guy will get you. He will. Rainbolt's gonna personally come onto my streams and dox me. It's a joke! I don't know. I think too much on that. I feel like management would be like, you need to go at least 500 miles away from your general area. Laura, this is your thank you. Thanks for 19 months of laughs and smiles with the bestest pink Bonomi. Damn, I think Pippa lives in America. Need to go 3 states over at least, yeah. Go out of state, you'll be fine. It's so hard to go out of state! It's expensive and it's far away! God. Okay, well. Alright, I'll see you guys on Monday! I'm gonna keep thinking on this. Maybe talk some stuff over with management. I don't know. Don't expect anything soon. don't expect anything soon related to this, but... Gamerlana, thank you. I'm already in her attic. Alright. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name's Pipkin Pippa. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, it's so cringe! Till it falls away, till day! Till it falls away, till day! Till it falls away, till day!
Till day falls away, till day. Till day falls away, till day. Till day falls away, till day. We hope you enjoyed your stay. Tuesday through Saturday, we'll see you again soon. A few hours past noon. Drinking, watching, reacting. logging back seeking ISP problems left waiting. What the hell is denpa eating? Mama spare this chatters go ham. Miss Super Chats, when will Pip Possum come back? We hope you enjoy your stay. Your favorite streamers live. So today she'll be offline. 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐵, we'll see you again soon. Leave a like and bob to the outro tune. Next stream we'll argue and laugh. Next stream we'll have a blast. Stick around to see who pickerates. Read the chat rules and say hey dude. We'll stream again soon. Come back again. And remember us when you hit message send. Till they fluffles away, till they fluffles away, till they fluffles away, till they